happens. I'm Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
Hey, good Monday morning, friends. Welcome to this fall weather edition of the Mark Arum Show. It is delightful outside. We have got a monstrous show for you today. In case you missed it during Atlanta's Morning News with Scott Slade, the peace deal is in place. The hostages have been returned home, and President Trump just announced, had a 1 hour long speech, over an hour long speech to the Israeli Knesset, which is basically their Congress, their House of Representatives, if you will, talking about the deal. President Trump now, I believe, landing in Egypt for a summit with world leaders on the Gaza solution, that now infamous 20-point plan in effect, and the joys that I've seen from hostage families reunited with their loved ones who've been in captivity for over 2 years. Just an unbelievably big story. We're going to be all over this. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, we're going to go live to D.C., get reaction there. 1 hour from now, actually not even an hour, Deborah, at 9:24, we're going to go to Jerusalem, check in with Jordana Miller. Then at 10 o'clock, we're going to go back to Israel with Linda Gradstein from CBS. And we are going to get reaction from not only Israel, but Gaza, how the Gazans feel, how the Palestinians feel about this peace deal. And we'll go to Egypt to get coverage of the summit ongoing now. But just a monstrously big story. In case you missed it, I was able to pull a ton of... Whoa, excuse me. I was able to pull a ton of audio from the speech that President Trump gave. And it was a very Trumpian speech. There were times, and I'm not saying that as a bad thing, but there were times when he was sticking to the prompter, and there were times when he went off the prompter, and famously went off the prompter in a couple of big issues, and we'll talk about that in a second. But I do want to play the beginning of President Trump's speech this morning. It happened around 7:09 a.m. Atlanta time, so just about 2 hours ago. This is President Trump addressing the Israeli Knesset.
Mr. President, Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Speaker, esteemed members of the Knesset, and cherished citizens of Israel, we gather on a day of profound joy, of soaring hope, of renewed faith, and above all, a day to give our deepest thanks to the Almighty God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. After two harrowing years in darkness and captivity, 20 courageous hostages are returning to the glorious embrace of their families, and it is glorious. 28 more precious loved ones are coming home at last to rest in this sacred soil for all of time. And after so many years of unceasing war and endless danger, today the skies are calm, the guns are silent, the sirens are still, and the sun rises on a holy land that is finally at peace, a land and a region that will live, God willing, in peace for all eternity. This is not only the end of a war, this is the end of an age of terror and death, and the beginning of the age of faith and hope and of God. It's the start of a grand concord and lasting harmony for Israel and all the nations of what will soon be a truly magnificent region. I believe that so strongly. This is the historic dawn of a new Middle East. I want to express my gratitude to a man of exceptional courage and patriotism, whose partnership did so much to make this momentous day possible. You know who I'm talking about. There's only one, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Bibi, please stand up.
So that's the beginning of President Trump's speech. I mean, it was There was applause, there was laughter, widely well received inside the Israeli Knesset there on obviously a joyous day for everyone in Israel. There was, Deborah, I don't know if you saw this. I was in here, I was watching the stream while we were doing show prep. There was one interruption, and I don't know who it was or if it was a protest. Obviously, it was some sort of a protest. But I like my biggest worry with President Trump going to the Mideast was security. Can you imagine what the Secret Service is having to do? Like, President Trump, you're going to Israel, then you're going to Egypt, and like just the Herculaneum effort it must be to protect the president. So once I literally, my stomach dropped when I heard and saw this going on in the middle of President Trump's speech.
And they somehow can relate to him. I've known him for many years, and I've seen it over and over again.
להוציא את חבר הכנסת עודה, להוציא אותו מהאולם, להוציא אותו מיד, החוצה, 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 להוציא גם את חבר הכנסת כסיף, להוציא את חבר הכנסת כסיף.
So I'm going to pause there. So that voice you hear right there, that's not the protester. That was like the Speaker of the House, I guess, like directing security, be like, hey, we got a threat, take care of it, please.
מהאולם, להוציא אותו מיד.
That's him applauding as the protester was ushered out of the hall.
Sorry for that, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Please.
That was very efficient.
It was. But I swear, when that happened, I was like, oh no. Right? Like shades of the Butler memory. And I'm like, what is going on? And I don't know who it was. And maybe we can get more information from our correspondents when they join us live in Israel. But literally my stomach dropped, heart sank. Well, I don't know what the proper term, but I was like, oh, what's going on here? But thankfully it was fine. Again, President Trump spoke for about an hour. A lot of it was off the cuff. One of the most notable things was that you might not be familiar, but the Israeli Prime Minister is under investigation. And he went to President Trump at the end of the speech, and he even admitted, he's like, this isn't in my prepared remarks, but he asked the president of Israel. So there's a president and the prime minister. The prime minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, obviously we all know, but he asked the president of Israel to pardon Benjamin Netanyahu for the alleged dealings that he did, which we'll see if that causes some reaction. But obviously, really joyous day in Israel. We're going to go live to Israel not once but twice today on the show. But I want to get reaction from Gaza. CNN's Nadia Bashir in Gaza right after President Trump spoke to the Israeli Knesset.
And we also heard from the U.S. president really highlighting the support of Arab and Muslim nations, in his words, who he says have pledged support for that rebuild effort. And of course, as we know, there is going to be a huge rebuild effort needed because of the sheer destruction that we have seen across the Gaza Strip. And as we know, as the ceasefire has come into effect, we've been seeing civil defense forces in Gaza still digging through the rubble, trying to recover whatever bodies they can find now under the rubble. We've been seeing civilians in Gaza returning to their homes, which have been turned into complete and destroyed rubble, trying to salvage whatever is left. For many of them, of course, there is nothing left. And what we're seeing in Gaza right now, in fact, according to video footage coming out of parts of Gaza, is the arrival of another bus transporting Palestinian detainees who, of course, were released as part of this ceasefire deal. And when we've been speaking to people here in the occupied West Bank, that is something that we've been hearing quite frequently, that there hasn't been enough focus or attention, at least outwardly, from the U.S. president and from other diplomats on the Palestinian side of this deal. And
that's Nadia Bashir in Gaza with reaction. And again, I started with the release of the hostages. Obviously, the headline there, the living hostages returning home. But as Nadia mentioned, the release of all the Palestinian prisoners being held as well. So historic day in Israel. They are now meeting in Egypt. Continue our team coverage. White House correspondent John Decker. John, good morning. Thanks so much for your time.
Hey, good morning to you, Mark. Hope you're doing well today.
Absolutely the same to you, my friend. I know it's early stages, but we have the hostages returned home, and there's still 3 years left on President Trump's second term. But is this the greatest achievement of the Trump presidencies thus far, perhaps?
Well, certainly the greatest foreign policy achievement. I think there's no doubt about that. There's nothing that compares to it. And it comes 2 years into this war starting. The president inherited this upon taking office. He also inherited the war in Ukraine, and he's trying to work to end that war as well. But it's a remarkable day, a joyous day in Israel with the return of those 20 hostages who've been held by Hamas for the past 2 years.
Yeah, and we're seeing celebrations in not only Tel Aviv, but in Gaza City. I don't know if you're able to see or listen to the full hour-plus long speech from President Trump, but if so, did anything stand out to you?
Well, I did watch this speech. I did watch the speech in its entirety. No, I mean, I think that this was I didn't hear anything new from the president in terms of what he spoke about towards the Israeli Knesset. He thanked all of those that were involved in this process. So the president magnanimous in that, speaking about his team as well as all of the Arab and Muslim countries around the world that were very helpful. Those Arab and Muslim countries really put pressure on Hamas to come to this deal. It's just phase one. Keep that in mind. It's a joyous day, but there are a lot of unanswered questions in terms of how Gaza is governed going forward, who governs Gaza, who rebuilds Gaza, how do you disarm Hamas? Those are questions that will be answered over the course of the next few months.
White House correspondent John Decker joining us here on the Mark Arum Show. President Trump now, I believe, has arrived in Egypt. He was late to that summit because his speech went long there. What's the rest of the president's schedule? Do we know?
Well, that's right. It's a very busy day for the president now that he's completed that speech at the Knesset, now en route to Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, for this peace conference that's taking place there in that resort town in Egypt. The president will spend some time there, and then that's it as far as his trip. He's not overnighting in the Middle East. In fact, he's coming back after midnight tonight. So a very busy day for the president. I'm sure he's going to be exhausted, but he's back at it tomorrow. There's an event that the president will attend in which Charlie Kirk will be honored posthumously with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. So a lot that's taking place over the course of the next 24 hours.
Final question for you, John. I mentioned this right before you came on the air. The protester that briefly interrupted President's speech and then was swiftly taken out of there. I just, what the Secret Service has to do to prep for a trip like this, to go to Israel and then to Egypt. I mean, that's a tough task, keeping the leader of the free world safe in the Mideast.
Well, it's a tough task, and you're asking a lot from the Secret Service because they're doing it on really a lot of short notice. Some of these things are months or weeks in the planning. This was just, less than a week in the planning. So obviously they have their work cut out for them, and they do such a good job. I deal with them every day, and their job, of course, is keeping the president safe.
There you go. White House correspondent John Decker in the district. John, as always, appreciate your time. All right, hostages arriving now at a hospital in Israel. Again, the breaking news, all of the remaining living hostages have been released from Hamas into Israel. The prisoner swap ongoing. The Palestinian prisoners in Israel now back in Gaza as well. A huge, huge story that we're going to continue to cover. We're going to take a quick break and check traffic. When we do that, when we come back, we'll go live to Jerusalem. ABC News' Jordana Miller covering the breaking news of the peace deal and the hostage release. That is coming up after we check that Monday morning ride. Let's say hello and good morning to Mike Shields.
Hey, good morning, Mark. And yes, travel advisory remains as you leave Ackworth into Kennesaw, trying to get past KSU this morning with a crash in two right lanes. At times, all lanes been held on 75 southbound just past Wade Green Road, exit 273. Delays start back 4 miles right at Highway 92. That's really the last chance to exit off and either work your way to 92 to 575 south or Highway 41 Cobb Parkway. Wide ways around that. Still following a crash on the west side perimeter. Had all lanes blocked. Just moved to the right shoulder, but caught fire pulling up with it, so right lane is going to remain blocked. I-285 southbound the outer loop at South Cobb Drive. This report is brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Learn more about the support of common threads and nutrition education at anthem.com/stream. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Blue Cross Blue Shield Healthcare Plan of Georgia, Incorporated. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
In Atlanta, there is always something happening.
Tanker truck crashed into the median.
The Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
No traffic getting through in either direction.
Helping you on your commute.
Avoid the area at all costs. Take Highway 155 or Highway 4223.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hey, y'all, it's Belinda Skelton, and many of you know I've been talking about the amazing folks at Four Seasons Home Care for quite a while now. So many of you have asked me questions about if home care is right for your aging parents. So I brought in my expert, Deborah Barron of Four Seasons Home Care. Okay, Deborah, the main thing that people ask me is, how flexible is home health care? Do I have to lock into a long contract?
There's no binding contract. We just have a service agreement that you would sign, and there's nothing that locks you into a plan. So we try to be flexible to follow the needs of your parent. Some of our clients start with just a few days a week, and I think that's a great way to ease into things.
Now, Deborah, I know that my parents needed a lot of care. They needed 24-hour around-the-clock care. But I'm sure some clients only need help preparing meals, things like that. How does Four Seasons Home Care deal with that?
Yes. So a big part of our process, and I believe the most important one, includes a home visit from our registered nurse. And she is going to sit down with your family member and go over everything and see exactly what you might need. Some people may just need a little bit of care, and others may need more in-depth, hands-on care. So they are brilliant at laying out a plan of care that's tailored for each situation. And I think you really need that kind of customization to ensure your parents get exactly what they need.
Folks, if you have aging parents who are clear that they want to age in place in the comfort of their homes, I cannot recommend enough the experts like Deborah at Four Seasons Home Care. It's 100% free and is such a crucial step in getting your parents what they need for their care, and allows you, the child, to do your role, and that's just love them and be there for them. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
Looking for your next great adventure? At Capital Investment Advisors, we know travel isn't just a vacation. It's a core pursuit that fuels happiness. In fact, research shows happy retirees pursue nearly twice as many adventure-related core pursuits as unhappy retirees. That's why we created 101 trips to take in retirement. A free guide with luxury escapes, wellness retreats, cultural immersions, and trips for the grandkids. Download your copy today at yourwealth.com/101trips.
You remember the famous line, I have a need for speed. Well, that was referencing fast-moving cars. But in 2025, probably more important than your fast-moving car is your fast-moving internet, especially your Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is so important to our lives. Hey, it's Mark Aaron back from my friends at Xfinity. The Wi-Fi from Xfinity, top-notch. If you have a need for speed, Xfinity is the answer. And with so many of our devices at home right now hooked up to our Wi-Fi, your phone, your tablet, your laptop, some of your appliances, you need smart and fast Wi-Fi. Imagine if your Wi-Fi was a lot smarter. Xfinity makes that dream a reality. Devices so in sync, you'll think they're telepathic. Really smart Wi-Fi that knows when your device needs a boost. That's the magic of Xfinity. It's seamlessly in tune with you. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Info online at xfinity.com.
When you come home after being away, you see your home with fresh eyes. And eventually, you'll roll up to your old garage door and finally notice how chipped and faded that rusty old slab really is. But that's the first thing people see when they come visit. A 250-square-foot bent aluminum lime green garage door that also squeaks. Welcome to our home. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. Our design consultants can help you find a strong, quiet, modern garage door that anyone would be proud to come home to. Modern materials that won't crack, dent, or fade. In contemporary styles that showcase your home's design. Call Mo Better Garage and let us show you just how joyful arriving back home can be.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
This week, against all odds, we have done the impossible and brought our hostages home.
Monumental day in Israel, in Gaza, in Egypt, on the globe. And as White House correspondent John Decker mentioned last segment of the Mark Arum Show, certainly the signature achievement thus far of the Trump administration's, and, knock on wood, this sticks, and this does form a long-lasting peace in the Middle East. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. Just a second, we're going to go live to Jerusalem, get reaction there. Very interested to hear what Erick Erickson has to say, Deborah. He's going to join us live, as he does every Monday at 10:35. We're going to talk all politics with him. We had a cancellation. Ernie Hudson was supposed to join us from Ghostbusters, but the nor'easter knocked out his flight.
He screwed up his flight. He had to change all of his plans.
So we'll reschedule him, but comedian Fortune Feimster is going to join us at 11:35. No more 5K day bonus splits, but the good news is we do have some Heart tickets to give away coming up at 11:37. So you still can win on the Mark Arum Show. You just can't win $1,000. But again, we'll be monitoring reaction in Gaza and Egypt and in Israel. Joining us live from Israel, ABC News correspondent Jordana Miller. Jordana, good morning on this historic day in the Mideast.
It really is historic. First of all, it's absolutely incredible to see these 20 hostages, living hostages, come out of the Gaza Strip in one fell swoop. They look happy, most of them quite thin, but they made it through this 2-year ordeal. And it's worth mentioning that several of them, we didn't see any pictures of them the entire time, right? Israel only knew they were alive from testimony from hostages who had come out. So really the whole nation, the whole country has been, to be honest, they were up all night, right? Because we didn't know exactly when they would be released. Hostage Square by 4 a.m. was already filled with people, and it continues to be, filled with tens of thousands of people dancing and singing, and we're getting the first pictures and videos of the families reuniting with the hostages, and it's just so moving, right? Parents just feeling so grateful that their child is alive, saying, "I love you. You're my hero for making it through," and cries and hugs and siblings and boyfriends and wives and children. And, it's a happy day. And on top of all of that, the president here, President Trump, visiting Israel, taking part in this very historic day for the country, giving a speech at Israel's parliament in which he really, I would say part of it was a kind of love letter, really, to the Jewish people, their resilience over hundreds of years, and here in Israel, their perseverance, their innovation, their grit, and the fact that they never lost hope to get back the hostages, right? He really commended the families who are out every single day. And I do think there's an important book to be written about the fact that even the media and the news executives here, they put on the terribly painful story of the hostages every single night, right? They didn't care if, the audience wanted it or not. It was going to be there every night for 2 years. So, and the president, though, also in his own very kind of charismatic, charming, off-the-cuff kind of way, also chiding, I think, the Prime Minister Netanyahu, saying, "Bibi, the war's over, right? You're finished with fighting now.
Yes.
You're no longer fighting a war, Bibi." And he said to him, "I commend you for being brave and having the courage to stop the war and stop the fighting, and now work on, what we can win diplomatically." When P.S., we all know that the Prime Minister was cornered somewhat to end the war, right? It
But
wasn't,
listen,
you know,
at the end of the day,
But however, right,
the
all is
hostages
well that
are
ends
home.
well.
Yeah, Jordana Miller, ABC News, live in Jerusalem. Thank you, Jordana. We'll continue to update this massive story. As Jordana mentioned, jubilation on the streets of Israel. All of the remaining living hostages have been returned. Social media is up and active throughout the broadcast at Mark Airman at WSB Radio.
At Mayo Clinic in Florida, we are solving the unsolvable. Our transplant experts are using new technologies like machine perfusion to increase the number of usable organs, reduce waiting times, and allow more patients to receive life-saving liver, heart, kidney, and lung transplants. We're making more possible at Mayo Clinic because every day we're doing what's never been done. Learn more at mayoclinic.org/possible. Mayo Clinic, you know where to go.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News, weather,
Traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 9:30. Good morning to you. I'm Cheryl Castro. News brought to you by Beaver Toyota of Cumming. Our top story, President Trump is now on his way from Israel to a summit for world leaders on the future of Gaza after hostages are freed and a U.S. brokered truce is reached.
CBS News special report. President Trump heads to Egypt shortly after more than an hour-long address to Israel's parliament. He told the Knesset that the U.S. brokered agreement is the historic dawn of a new Middle East.
This week, against all odds, we have done the impossible and brought our hostages home.
Trump also told Israeli lawmakers that Israel has won everything it can militarily. White House correspondent Nancy Cordes.
He urged the Israeli parliament members to translate what has happened into peace. He said, "You've won. It is time now to enjoy the fruits of your labor." An acknowledgement that it is the next phase that is going to be so difficult and where there will be so many obstacles.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu presented a long list of thank yous to Trump, calling him the greatest friend that Israel has ever had in the White House. CBS News special report. I'm Peter King.
And we are awaiting a signing ceremony soon for a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. Again, all 20 living Israeli hostages are released. Hamas now says it will release the bodies of 4 of the 28 deceased Israeli captives later today. It's 9:31. MARTA will temporarily close some entrances to its busiest downtown Atlanta station as work continues on a big renovation project. Starting today, the Peachtree Street entrance and Federal Tunnel for employees at the Five Point Station are closed for construction.
All customers who are trying to reach trains at Five Point Station should use the Forsyth Street entrance.
MARTA's Greg Jafrida says the Alabama Street and Broad Street Plaza entrances are also closed. A major water main project begins today in a busy area of DeKalb County.
Crews are going to replace more than 2 miles of aging pipe on Panola Road over the next year. Phase 1 starts at Farrington Road and goes south to Salem Road. DeKalb Watershed says they're replacing pipes installed decades ago.
In this area, the county has been faced with over 85 water main breaks from 1989 to 2024.
Once Phase 1 is finished next September, it'll be followed by Phase 2. It's part of DeKalb County's nearly $4.3 billion capital improvement plan to fix aging infrastructure. Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
The Atlanta City Council's Public Safety Committee will consider a resolution this afternoon aimed at addressing a shortage of fire personnel.
The resolution, authored by Councilman Michael Julian Bond, would require each engine company have at least 4 personnel on ladder trucks when responding to an emergency. Bond says he's become increasingly concerned over reports that some ladder trucks only have 3 people.
We want to be firing at all cylinders. You know, we want to have the optimum number of firefighters responding to every single call in the city.
According to the local firefighters union, a 4-person crew performs rescues faster and can help prevent injuries. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
And the International Entertainment Buyers Association names Atlanta's Fox Theater the Theater of the Year. The Fox hosts more than 200 performances annually and has welcomed more than 600,000 guests in the past year. It is 9:33, time to check traffic and weather as we check in now with Mike Shields live in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
And Cheryl, travel advisory continues in Kennesaw with a crash in 2 right lanes. I-75 southbound Wade Green Road, exit 273. Bumper to bumper, 4 miles back starting at Highway 92, exit 277 in Ackworth. Use Highway 41 Cobb Parkway as an alternate route. That long-standing crash on I-20 eastbound out of Villa Rica getting into Douglasville this morning. 20 eastbound at Post Road, that remains in 2 right lanes. Delays back to Liberty Road. Highway 78 is a great alternate through Winston. And the crash just moved to the right shoulder, but 1 right lane is blocked again. 285 southbound the outer loop at South Cobb Drive. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Mostly sunny this afternoon, warming up to a high of 81. Lows tonight in the mid-50s. Tomorrow, sunshine, high 83. Mostly sunny on Wednesday, morning low 58, afternoon high 54.
Sunny 59 degrees in Woodstock, 61 degrees in Decatur and Lawrenceville. More news at 10 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
When the news matters to you.
The massive project at 285 and Georgia 400 has been a big improvement.
95.5 WSB has you covered.
The latest incident comes when a SWAT team is called after a suspect.
Your 24/7 news
They
source.
had no ties to a gang.
When you need the story, all you need to do is listen. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's breaking news station.
It's an incredible triumph for Israel and the world to have all of these nations working together as partners.
Still
in
to come,
peace.
in-depth team coverage on the hostage release and the peace deal. But coming up next, could fire CDC workers get their jobs back? That's next on the Mark Arum Show.
Considering a new roof? FGA Roofing offers a free roof assessment. Mention Tim Andrews and your free quote will be discounted $750. And that's good for 1 year. Ask about their 0% financing plans. Visit FGAroofing.com for a quote today.
If you have Medicaid and are new to Medicare, you may qualify to enroll in a Humana Medicare Advantage dual eligible special needs plan with a lot more benefits like dental, vision, and hearing, along with helpful support when you need it most. Now is the time to see if you qualify to enroll. It only takes a few minutes to find out if you're eligible. Our licensed sales agents are ready to help you understand your options. So this Medicare planning season, we can help you plan well. Learn more at humanaduals.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a dual eligible special needs HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the state Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
We are here with CFP Matthew Decker of the Vincent Finance Group and host of Retire ATL. And Matt, you've said that income is the outcome that matters the most in retirement. But what income streams require the most attention?
Yeah, so if you've got a pension or if you're living off of Social Security, you kind of know those income streams show up in your mailbox. That's mailbox money. It's almost like you're still working, and it doesn't really require that much attention. But most people that come into the office today, they are having to use their 401ks, their IRAs, SEP Simples, 403bs that are invested in the market to generate income. And anytime you're going to use a market-linked asset where you have to go in and decide when you're going to buy and sell to generate your income, it takes a ton more effort, energy, and attention to get that piece of the puzzle right. But it doesn't actually have to be that way.
So, Matt, the number one fear of adults in retirement is outliving their money. How do we get started building income today?
Well, you can get started today. You'd call us for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement roadmap. We want to build a GPS for you that's going to help navigate retirement, and it's going to have a focus on building and preserving income. 770-280-1488. We've got a representative standing by to talk to you right now. 770-280-1488. Our home office is in downtown Woodstock, but we are available across the metro Atlanta area to meet with you at a time and place that fits your schedule. Again, 770-280-1488 or online at retireatlradio.com.
The team at Vincent Finance Group want to help preserve your assets while building retirement income that lasts as long as you do. Call today for your complimentary retirement roadmap, 770-280-1488. And you can always get more at retireatlradio.com and join us for Retire ATL Sundays at 6 p.m. right here on WSB.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
We gather on a day of profound joy, of soaring hope, of renewed faith.
President Trump this morning addressing the Israeli Knesset, the historic peace deal, the hostage release coming up in 30 minutes on the Mark Arum Show. We'll get back live to Jerusalem, get the latest reaction there. Right now, though, I want to talk about a local story that popped this morning in my eye on AJC.com. A large number of CDC workers were fired over the weekend, but now there's a scramble to possibly get them hired. Covering the story for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, our buddy Greg Bluestein. Greg, good morning, my friend.
Good morning.
So when did these firings occur? Because I didn't even know that hundreds of folks lost their job over the weekend.
Yeah, they occurred after 9 p.m. on Friday, a holiday weekend. So a lot of the CDC employees were caught off guard, obviously, and about 1,000 by most estimates that we've heard, about 1,000 employees lost their jobs, at least initially, including some of the top scientists who were working on measles, on Ebola outbreaks in Africa, on what is called the MMWR report, which is basically the sort of must-read for public health experts weekly journal that the CDC comes out with, and some other top-level scientists in Atlanta and Washington.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's a big number, but, not just rank and file folks that go to the CDC on the daily, but some of their top scientists lose their job. Do we know why they were fired, and why is there now a push to get them hired back?
Yeah, we don't know why they were fired. We know that there's obviously been an overhaul of the Health and Human Services Department under Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And this is not the first round of layoffs targeting CDC employees. There was a one back in April that really led about 1/3 of the agency staffers to lose their jobs. Some of those were rescinded, and that's kind of where we're at right now, with hundreds of those job layoffs now being rescinded, saying, never mind, you still have a job.
So, I mean, the CDC has gone through some crazy times, as you mentioned. I mean, in April, they lost like 1/3 of their workforce. Are the folks that got the termination notice on Friday, are they in limbo? How are they going to know if they are truly fired or not? Do we have any idea what the mechanics of this situation will look like?
Yeah, they're in limbo. I mean, I talked to one staffer who has been fired, rehired, and fired for a third time now. Nothing to do with the staffer's abilities and wherewithal to do the job. It's just this is sort of emblematic of what critics say is the chaos of a lot of these rifts, these layoffs of federal employees, as the Trump administration tries to cut some of the government spending.
Greg Bluestein from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Good stuff, Greg. I can't let you go without asking, how are those polls coming? When are we going to see those political polls?
The polls are heading out in the field this week, so we'll be hearing back within weeks.
Gotcha. All right, Greg. Always a pleasure. Thanks for jumping on, my friend.
Hey, thanks for having me.
There you go, Greg Bluestein. That's a big deal. I didn't even know, Deborah, I'm in the news business, that thousands of CDC workers got fired on Friday, including their top scientists. So, I mean, goodness gracious. Can you imagine? We work in an uncertain industry, right? I'm sure you.
That's for sure.
I am a unicorn in the fact that this is the only radio station I've worked for. But, the radio life is a nomadic one. And you've worked at a bunch of stations. Mm-hmm. The unease of going, oh, am I going to have a job? Is the format going to flip? Am I going to get furloughed, laid off, fired? And that's nothing compared to what the CDC folks are going through right now.
I can't just imagine that. Like, you come in, no, let go. Oh, you're back. No, we're going to let you go again. Oh, no, we need you back.
And it's not like, oh, this is a worker in the CDC cafeteria. These are the top scientists that got axed. So obviously a huge local story. We'll continue to monitor that. Let's go back to our top story, though, the ceasefire deal and the hostage release. Right now, President Trump should be arriving in Egypt for the big summit there with regional leaders. Nick Robertson in Egypt right now, covering this for CNN, their international correspondent, reacting to President Trump's speech in front of the Knesset earlier this morning.
Yeah, look, we got Donald Trump's philosophy writ large. There is peace through strength. That's how he said Israel got to the point that it is. It got there with U.S. weapons that he was happy to supply. It got there, he said, by the U.S. using its B-2 bombers on a long mission to strike Iran's nuclear sites. He actually said that the United States is getting another 28 B-2 bombers. I think that was, again, writ large, President Trump's philosophy of how President Trump does business around the world. He mentioned wanting to get peace between Russia and Ukraine as well, on his mission to bring peace to many conflicts around the world. And clearly, he's implying that that's done from a position of strength. We know that he's discussing right now with the Ukrainian leader about the possibility of using Tomahawk cruise missiles from Ukraine, being used by Ukraine to target perhaps energy sites within within Russia. So this is the president's philosophy about how he drove the situation where it is today. Everyone praises him for his ability to get people to do what they don't want to do, although he did say that Benjamin Netanyahu sometimes doesn't quite follow his own plan. But there's that peace through strength. That's his philosophy there. And the other part of his philosophy was writ large there. You just did the numbers there. 25 trillion for all the countries present, 30 trillion there from the United States. His vision is an economic vision. You stabilize peace through the economy. It sounds like what he wants to do is supercharge the Abraham Accords. There was no detail that I heard about the putting flesh on the bones that may get discussed here about his 20-point plan about how to realize that longer, more durable peace within Gaza. All the hurdles you and I have been discussing, international stabilization force, its scale, its size, its mandate, its time duration, when they can be ready. All of those things, disarming Hamas, all of that. But this was President Trump's philosophy. Peace through strength, enduring peace through economic ties. That seems to be what he's bringing in here.
Nick Robertson in Egypt reacting to President Trump's speech. I've got a lot more audio of what President Trump had to say. He singled out some folks in his administration to kind words for Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner, and maybe the kindest words for Marco Rubio. You remember on Friday, Deborah, I thought there might be some tension between Trump and Rubio because Secretary of State Rubio nominated the Venezuelan woman that won the Nobel Peace Prize. And I was like, oh, he might be in his... But he had amazing kind words to say of Secretary of State Marco Rubio. All right, so the 20 remaining living hostages in Gaza were officially returned to Israel today after 2 years of war. The bodies, though, of 28 hostages who are presumed dead are still in Gaza. The release of 250 Palestinian prisoners serving long and life sentences now also underway in the deal, as there's a release of more than 1,700 Palestinian detainees from Gaza held by Israel without charge since the Hamas-led attacks on October 7th, 2023. But obviously a historic day throughout the region. Our coverage will continue at right after the news at 10. We'll go back live to Israel. Eric Erickson is going to join us live at 10:35. I'm sure he has a lot to say about that historic peace deal that is now in effect. Right now, we do have to check, though. Big backups on 75 South out of Kennesaw. Live with the latest. Here's Mike Shields.
Yeah, 5 miles of brake lights marked due to a long-standing injury crash. Try to move to the right shoulder completely, down to one right lane block now. 75 southbound Wade Green Road, exit 273. Delays all the way back to Alatoona Gateway, exit 278. So use Highway 41 Cobb Parkway. That's going to be the best alternate between Ackworth and Kennesaw. And things trying to improve out of Villa Rica into Douglasville this morning with a long-standing crash down to one right lane block to I-20 eastbound at Post Road. Still bumper to bumper starting back at Liberty Road. This report is brought to you by Staples. Have you heard the Staples Easy button is back with even more easy? Press it for custom prints, shipping services, and even passport photos. Staples, that was easy. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
The news of the day through the eyes of Eric Von Hessler.
This might help, young man. This might cure what ails you.
If it's on your mind, it's on his.
I run a stupid little radio show. I don't care. Have fun.
Eric Von Hessler, today at 3.
Your friend, Eric Von Hessler, the common sense host.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place. You know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in will work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on Portfolio X-Ray or click on Full Retirement Plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
More and more these days, people are in pain, are taking control of their health and looking beyond the traditional medicine. Hey, it's Mark here. That's why QC Kinetics is so successful. People with chronic joint pain are learning that there are other options besides steroids, meds, and surgery. Patients fighting pain are getting lasting relief using advanced cellular treatments. It's QC Kinetics regenerative medicine that can revitalize your joints using growth factors from your own body. And check it out, guys. It's a simple injection. No hospital stay. It's fast, all natural, and no downtime. I want you to call QC Kinetics and get a free consultation. Exercise your freedom to look beyond the same old solutions. Thousands of patients around the country finding a better life with QC Kinetics and their amazing regenerative treatments. Call now to get started. 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026. Appointments available on Saturdays. Lawrenceville, Sandy Springs, Marietta, Stockbridge, Decatur, and Douglasville.
Don't be haunted by those old stains in your carpet. Call Zerorez Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning to get 3 rooms clean for only $129. Mention WSB when you call or schedule online at ZerorezAtlanta.com. Zerorez, it's the right way to clean.
Scott Slade from iRoofer FGA Roofing. Are you considering a new roof but unsure about timing? FGA offers a free drone roof assessment. Get a quote and mention me and you'll get $1,000 off your quote. And the quote will be good for 12 months. Search FGA Roofing to book an appointment today.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Hey, I am Brant, and her name is Sherry, and she's a friend and a colleague of mine, and we were just praying for her, actually, because she had a major surgery she just went through.
Yes, and I am very happy about something you actually talk about all the time, which is Medi-Share. That's
of
right,
course.
yeah.
So what was your experience like with Medi-Share and your healthcare bills?
You know what? It was seamless. And that's such a blessing when you're already nervous about a health issue, which I was.
Yeah.
Members shared my expenses. There were zero problems. And let me tell you, having people pray with you when you call in and it's just what you need, it's so refreshing.
Yeah, that's what I keep telling people. People love Medi-Share and saving tons of money. The typical family, I'm fond of saying, could save $500 a month.
I am so thankful for Medi-Share. It's so different, and I mean different in a very, very good way, Brant.
It is a good different. Call right now. They're so easy to talk to. You can get a price within 2 minutes. Here is the number, 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE, 855-51-BIBLE.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
Top 50 song of all time? I mean, it's got to be close there. Sound of Silence, Paul Simon, Art Garfunkel. Happy 84th birthday to Paul Simon. He's a legend, right, Deborah? I mean, just absolutely.
Love Paul Simon.
Who doesn't love Paul Simon? He turns 84 years old today. We lost a legend over the weekend. Diane Keaton passed away. I will remember her a little bit later on in the show, but I just want to mention now. I've got some Longoria, you know her and love her from Annie Hall.
Yes.
Yeah. The Godfather, just an amazing career. And I think she was 78, 79.
I think 79.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll remember Diane Keaton a little bit later in the broadcast. Want to continue our team coverage of the hostage release. So I'm going to play some audio, and I'm going to retweet the audio I'm going to play for. All 20 living hostages are back. So Tal Cooperstein is the father of free hostage Bar Cooperstein. The dad was in a serious accident before October 7th that left him unable to walk or speak. So the dad of the hostage got in a car wreck before his son got abducted. After his son was taken hostage, he vowed to walk and talk again. And today he stood up from his wheelchair to embrace his son after his release. Let's listen to this. This is the father being helped out of the wheelchair to hug his son. And everyone's just crying. I mean, I'm about to retweet this right now. But, you can only imagine what the reconciliation is like for those hostage families, for the ones that are living and then came back. But remarkable stuff. So I just retweeted it, re-X'd it, whatever you want to call it, at Mark Arum, Markarum. Something we're going to discuss maybe tomorrow on the show, the psychological damage that these hostages have been going through, being held in these deplorable conditions for 2 years. Who knows what was going on there? And now you're reunited with your family. You can't just snap back and be normal again, right? I mean, that's a trauma that will stay with them forever. So maybe today's show, but definitely tomorrow's show, we're going to talk to a psychologist about what that reemergence is when you're reunited with your family after being held captive for so long. What's that mental toll going to take? Obviously, that's a story that we certainly should follow as the hostages come home. This story cracked me up, Deborah, because you might remember maybe last year, a couple years ago, I thought of selling holy water.
No.
Yeah, I thought of it. Yes, I did. Deborah said, no, you can't sell holy water. I figured it'd be a great thing for Catholics or Christians around the world that don't have access to a priest, that you just sell the holy water. So I thought of that. Again, I didn't do it. Deborah said, no, don't do that. But this story, apparently there is a parish that needs to switch the type of altar wine they have. So when you get the communion Longoria, the wafer and the wine, why are they having to switch up their altar wine, Deborah?
All right, so this is a Catholic church in Kenya, and they had to find a new altar wine because the one that they usually use during the sacrament was actually being sold at local bars and in liquor stores, which is a big no-no for the church. It's supposed to be blessed by the priest.
Sure.
You only get it there during the Mass. So they had to find a new local winery, and they made this promise that it's only going to be served to the diocese. They're not going to sell it anywhere else. So it's only going to be at this Kenyan area where the wine is from.
So whatever wine they were using for the sacrament, is that what they call it?
Yeah, sacramental wine.
You could get it at Joe's liquor store.
Yeah, like I could go to Tower Package down the street and buy the same wine, which if you're not Catholic, you know how people can be like, oh, look at me.
Yeah.
What are they
flexing?
What is it? I'm trying to think of the word. Anyway, but yeah, kind of like, look, I have communal wine or whatever. And for people that take it seriously, it's kind of offensive.
Is that kept a secret in Catholic churches? Like, do you have any idea what brand of wine you are given?
So from what I know, it's usually tried to come from certain vineyards. It doesn't have to be local, but like the church will make an agreement with a certain vineyard, and then it needs to be blessed by the priest. And it's not just like wine out of a bottle. They usually add something to it too, because it's not
what do
tasty.
You mean? Like a roofie?
No, it's hard to explain. Like you see them when they're at the altar, they actually mix it in with some water.
Okay.
Water. And,
but it's not good, right?
Yeah,
you don't go like looking forward to the shot of wine that you're getting at church.
I got you.
So, but yeah, you still don't want to be able to serve that just anywhere.
Yeah, I would imagine the most important thing is that it's blessed by the priest, though, right? That's the most important thing.
Yeah. What's your idea?
You
just settled 2
packs. Like going to Costco and buying like a case.
No.
You want to sell a joint bottle of wine, bottle of holy water?
I'm just thinking, the king of branding, there might be a presidential sacrament wine.
Oh, he already had a Bible.
It wouldn't be sacramental,
exactly.
though.
Wow. Anyway. All right. Interesting stuff there. All right. News, weather, and traffic in less than 3. When we come back, our continuing team coverage of the peace deal and the hostage release. Linda Gradstein joins us live from Jerusalem next on The Mark Arum Show.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
The Findlay Roofing Chief Barking Officer Rufus has the zoomies. He's rolling over about saving you $1,000 bucks off your roof replacement. That's a lot of bones. Hey, it's Dave Baker for Findlay Roofing, the roof guys. Stop repairing the leaks and dragging your feet. For a limited time, save $1,000 on your roof replacement. Hurry, this treat ends on Halloween. Schedule your free roof analysis at FindlayRoofing.com.
Men. Trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
With thousands of 5-star reviews, it's no wonder CertaPro Painters is Greater Atlanta's most preferred painting company. Hear from one of their happy customers.
We wanted to add some color to our walls, so we hired CertaPro. We had built-in shelves that were supposed to be ready to paint when they got there, which they were not. CertaPro spent hours caulking and sanding to make sure the job was done right. It's rare to find a crew with integrity who really take pride in their work.
When choosing a painting professional, choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hi there. Good morning. It is 10 o'clock. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by TE Certified Electrical, Plumbing, Heating, and Air. We do have breaking news this morning. New developments from the Middle East. Hamas freeing the remaining living hostages from Gaza as President Trump meets with world leaders. Here's what's happening now.
CBS News special report. Air Force One is wheels up to Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, where President Trump and Egypt's president will chair a summit on Gaza's future. It comes hours after Hamas released 20 living hostages. Israel released hundreds of Palestinian prisoners in return. Speaking to Israel's parliament, Mr. Trump remembered what started the Gaza war.
Thousands of innocent Israeli civilians were attacked by terrorists, and one of the most evil and heinous desecrations of innocent life the world has ever seen, the worst slaughter of Jews since the Holocaust.
But Mr. Trump says he believes the U.S. brokered peace deal with Hamas will lead to a lasting peace. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu thanks him for his continued support of Israel.
Donald Trump is the greatest friend that the state of Israel has ever had in the White House.
CBS News special report. I'm Peter King.
All right, so your weather for today. Sunny skies. It's going to be warming up through the afternoon hours, headed for a high of 81, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in just over 2 minutes. Work's getting underway today on another major water infrastructure renovation project in DeKalb County. It's the latest in a $4.3 billion capital improvement plan to renovate pipes across the county. The work on Panola Road will be held between Farrington Road and Salem Road, so a heads up on that. MARTA temporarily closing some entrances to its busiest downtown Atlanta station as work continues on a big renovation project there. Starting today, the Peachtree Street entrance and Federal Tunnel for employees at the 5 Point station are closed for construction. Several units suffered heavy damage and dozens are displaced by an apartment fire in Gwinnett County.
Firefighters responding to a 911 call found flames pouring from a top-floor balcony when they arrived at the Reserve at Gwinnett Apartments on Graves Road in Norcross. The blaze quickly spread to another unit and into the attic, but crews were able to bring it under control without further spread. Top-floor units were heavily damaged by fire, and smoke and water affected much of the building, though no neighboring structures were impacted. No injuries occurred, and roughly 60 displaced residents are receiving help from the Red Cross while investigators work to determine a cause. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
All right, this is new since Atlanta's morning news. Former state representative and DeKalb County CEO Vernon Jones announcing today that he's running to be Georgia's next Secretary of State. In the announcement on X, he says that his platform centers on election integrity.
We need a Secretary of State who will fight for paper ballots, limit mail-in voting, and enforce strong voter ID laws, because election integrity starts with common sense.
Jones, a former Democrat, switched parties in 2021. He joins a crowded field of candidates, which includes Gabriel Sterling, who entered the Republican primary after leaving the Secretary of State's office in August. Kelvin King, an Air Force veteran, is also running as a Republican. Judge Penny Brown Reynolds is running for the office as a Democrat. All right, if you looked at your 401k on Friday, you will be happier this morning. So far, the Dow is up 484 points at 45,964. So the Dow's up more than a full percent. NASDAQ's up more than 2%. And the S&P is already up almost 1.5% here at 10:03. It's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Ashley Frasca in the WSB 24-hour traffic center. Good morning.
Good morning. We've been sounding a travel advisory through Ackworth with a crash finally clearing on the shoulder. 75 southbound past Wade Green Road. A tractor trailer was involved. Still 5 miles of sluggish traffic, though. You can use Highway 41 to avoid that, but things should improve. Cleared a crash on 285 south at South Cobb Drive. That earlier trouble out of Villa Rica 20 east at Post Road is gone, and now picking up a brand new stalled vehicle. Looks to be in a left center lane, 85 south at Indian Trail. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Sunny skies today, high 81, lows tonight in the mid-50s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high 83. Sunshine prevails on Wednesday with highs in the mid-80s.
It is 62 degrees in Woodstock, 65 in Brookhaven. Ackworth, you have 62 degrees. We'll have more news at 10:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome back to the show and a good Monday morning to you. Mark Aram here, you there. It's 10:04, 4 minutes after 10 o'clock. This is the Mark Aram Show, live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon on 85.5 WSB. The Core 4 with us here on this historic day. Deborah, executive producer of the program, Longoria, the stoic Eskimo on the other side of the takeout window. Down south, Vinny screens your calls. Coming up in 30 minutes, Eric Erickson is going to join us live, talking politics with Eric. The story that popped about a Qatari airbase in Idaho. Plus, want to get Eric's reaction to the hostage release and the peace deal that is now in effect here in Israel. So Eric Erickson is going to join us live. Right now, though, we go straight to Jerusalem. Joining us live, CBS News correspondent Linda Gradstein. Linda, good morning. I can only imagine what it's like in Israel right now.
Oh, it's very, very emotional. You know, Israel is a very small country, and everybody knows somebody who was either a hostage or who was fighting or whatever. And it's been an incredibly emotional day. And to see, you know, the public has been very supportive of a ceasefire. Tens of thousands of people coming out every Saturday night for the past 2 years, telling the government to stop the war, bring the hostages home, and to see these young men, most are in their 20s and 30s, a couple have children of their own, and to see them reuniting with their families, it's just very, very emotional and really a day of celebration.
Linda, confirmation that all of the living hostages have been returned, is that correct?
Yes, definitely correct. And as part of the deal, Hamas was also supposed to return 28 bodies. And they've been saying over the past couple of days that they're not sure that they can find all of the bodies, that they might have been buried under the rubble. And right now, the Red Cross is about to receive 4 bodies. And at least for today, they're only going to get 4 of the bodies back.
Yeah, we were covering the story on Friday. Obviously, this is just such a monumental deal. I was hesitant that Hamas would be able to deliver all of the living hostages. We knew that the deceased hostages will take some time, but the fact that they are able to hand deliver the living hostages exceeded my expectations. I didn't think it would get done within 72 hours.
Yeah, I agree with you. There was also some concern that Hamas might hold back some of them, use them as a bargaining chip. 2 of the hostages released today were actually brought to a previous hostage release, I think about 6 months ago, and forced to watch while other hostages were turned over. Also today, in accordance with the deal, there were none of these humiliating sort of handover ceremonies that we had seen in the past, but there was a lot of sort of skepticism. And now the big question is Hamas really going to disarm as the ceasefire calls for?
Linda Gradstein joining us live in Jerusalem here on the Mark Aram Show. I've seen a couple of the hostage reunification videos with their family, but overall, do we know the condition of the hostages? Are they malnourished? How do they look overall?
Well, they look thin and pale, but actually better than a lot of people had thought. You know, Israel sent ambulances with the Army vehicles, thinking that they might have to, people wouldn't be able to walk. They all were on their feet. Some of them smiled. Most of them smiled when they saw their families, when they saw, the Israeli Army officers. That said, there's a lot of adrenaline going on. You know, these people have been kept in terrible conditions, and especially the ones who were Israeli soldiers have reportedly been tortured, according to other hostages who were with them. One of the hostages apparently lost sight in one of his eyes, although it's not clear if that's a permanent condition or a temporary one. They seem relatively okay. They were taken to the hospital. Their families will stay with them in the hospital, but they're going to have quite a long rehabilitation, both physically and certainly emotionally.
Linda, President Trump addressed the Knesset this morning for over an hour. You've been covering this story, obviously a difficult story to cover for over 2 years since that horrific terrorist attack by Hamas. What were your big takeaways from President Trump's speech today?
First of all, correct. It was over an hour. I listened to the whole thing, and that came after an hour of speeches on the Israeli side. But I think that the biggest take was that, the war is over and it's time to move forward, and that Israel has an opportunity to sort of expand the circle of countries with whom it has made peace and to really create a new Middle East. And in fact, President Trump is now on his way to Egypt for a summit with Arab countries and several European countries about the future of Gaza. And the president of Indonesia is coming to Israel tomorrow. It's the first time that anyone from Indonesia has openly visited Israel.
Wow.
Indonesia is, of course, the world's biggest Muslim country. So, I think that, there's a sense that there's a new opportunity now in the Middle East, and that's what he was calling for. There was also one very bizarre point where he turned to the president of Israel and asked him to give the prime minister, Netanyahu, a pardon. Netanyahu is on trial in several different corruption cases, and it was really kind of quite striking and very obvious that, interference in another country's politics when he said to the president, nobody cares if he accepted, cigars and champagne, you should give him a pardon.
Yeah, that was striking. I believe, do I have the audio of that? I don't have the audio of that, but that was, and even President Trump said, this is not part of my scripted remarks, but can you, think about pardoning the prime minister? For folks in the United States that aren't exactly sure logistically how it works with a president and a prime minister, do you think that the president's words to the President Trump's words to the Israeli president will have any impact?
Well, the president can give pardons, but the prime minister hasn't been convicted of anything yet, and he has maintained all along that he is innocent in all of the charges. It's the first time in Israeli history that a sitting prime minister is on trial. Prime Minister Ehud Olmert was accused of corruption, but as soon as the accusations, as soon as the court decided to pursue it, he resigned. So this is kind of a unique situation. Now, I was under the impression that a pardon had been discussed about if Netanyahu agreed to retire from politics. Netanyahu is Israel's longest-serving prime minister. He's been prime minister for, I think, close to 20 years, and Israel has no term limits. So it's actually possible that, on the wave of this deal, Netanyahu, who has not been very popular, could go to an early election and perhaps even be reelected.
Yeah, and you and I have talked about this for the last 2 years, the future of Benjamin Netanyahu post-war. But this is a day of excitement and celebration, so we'll hold that conversation for another time. 6 minutes into the President Trump speech today, Linda, this went down. Some sort of an interruption during the speech. It was handled swiftly. Do we have any idea what happened there?
Yes, it was an Arab Knesset member and a communist Knesset member who held up a sign saying, "Recognize Palestine." So at the beginning, the Speaker of the Knesset said that if there are any disturbances, people would be taken out immediately. The Israeli Knesset is known as kind of a raucous place. So it was actually the fact that this was the only interruption was actually fewer interruptions than normal.
I got scared as I was watching it live, the security concerns that the Secret Service might have for this trip from President Trump to go to Israel and Egypt. And my heart jumped for a second, but it was quickly taken care of. Okay, so it was actually, no one snuck into the Knesset. It was actually some members.
No, it was not at all.
Gotcha. All right, Linda, final question for you. President Trump set to land in Egypt belatedly, right? He's running behind.
Yeah.
Do we know what's going to happen in the summit exactly, and how can we get from the second part of the peace deal to the 20th part of the peace deal?
So that's exactly what they're going to discuss, and I think he's going to ask for, international assistance in coming up with this sort of Arab technocratic government. There's a board of peace that Trump, in his speech in Israel, said that all of the countries want him to be in charge of it, and he's actually very busy, but he will do it. But it will really be run by Tony Blair, the former British Prime Minister, who has a lot of experience in the Middle East. But again, it's a really complicated situation. Is Hamas really going to disarm? Are they going to give up any hopes of governing Gaza? Who will govern Gaza? How do you rebuild Gaza? What about the 2 million Palestinians, most of whom have been living in tents without sufficient medical services? How do you get humanitarian aid into Gaza? So, in some ways, today was the easy part, and now the hard part starts.
Linda, I just got to, on behalf of everyone listening here in Metro Atlanta, thank you for all you've done the last 2 years, bringing us, the scenes from Israel and this horrific war between Israel and Hamas. So we couldn't have done it without you. Thank you so much for your time over the last 2+ years.
Thank you, Mark.
There you go. Great day in Israel, great day in Gaza, great day in the Mideast. Linda confirmed there, Deborah, all 20 hostages have been released. The living hostages have been released. I'm going to keep trying to find some of those hostage videos. I mentioned President Trump talking about Marco Rubio. So Marco Rubio, we thought might be on the outs on Friday because the Nobel Peace Prize didn't go to President Trump. It went to the Venezuelan dissident leader, who was nominated by President Trump's Secretary of State. But President Trump had really kind words for Marco Rubio this morning when he was addressing the Knesset.
A man named Marco Rubio, who is also here. That's right. And I have a prediction that Marco will go down, I mean this, as the greatest Secretary of State in the history of the United States. I believe that. I believe it. And he and I, we really fought it out. You remember, he was tough. He was nasty. Who the hell thought this was going to happen, Marco, right? And now I'm saying he's going to go down as the greatest. He will. He was always smart and sharp, and people respect him.
Wow, really kind words there. President Trump saying Marco Rubio will go down as the greatest Secretary of State in United States history. We're going to continue to cover the historic peace deal and the hostage release updates throughout the day. We'll go back live to D.C. We'll go to Jerusalem. We'll go to Gaza. We'll go to Egypt. And again, right now in Egypt, President Trump set to land and have that summit with other world leaders. Tony Blair, former Prime Minister of the UK, will be there as well, helping coordinate. But a huge, fantastic story. All the hostages that were living are now back home. When we come back, I haven't even mentioned it, Deborah, it's day 13 of the government shutdown. We'll explain how things are going there on Capitol Hill. Right now, we're going to explain why things are popping off in Norcross. Let's say hello and good morning to the incomparable Ashley Frasca.
Good morning, Mark, and I've got the answer. A stalled vehicle in lane number 3. That's a left center lane, 85 southbound past Indian Trail. You're on the brakes coming down from Pleasant Hill and slow through the work zone between Decula and Lawrenceville on Highway 316 westbound, getting past Cedars Road, and things finally starting to look a little better between Ackworth and Kennesaw from that earlier crash. It's on the shoulder, 75 south past Wade Green. Traffic brought to you by Staples. Have you heard the Staples Easy button is back with even more easy? Press it for custom print shipping services, even passport photos. Staples, that was easy. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
You can count on it.
You can try and plan for it.
But sometimes it gets the best of you.
Stalled Big Rig 275 southbound the outer loop at 166.
When it stops you from getting where you need to be.
Atlanta's most trusted traffic team gets you there.
You slow just east of Georgia 400.
Atlanta's most up-to-date traffic reports from local and trustworthy people.
Every time you listen. Triple Team Traffic.
95.5 WSB. How Atlanta gets there.
Selling and buying a home doesn't have to be a juggling act. With Orchard, you get cash up front to buy your next place, then more cash when your old home sells. Start with a free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz, and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no, and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
Bugs are everywhere. You need a pest control company that protects the outside and inside of your home. That's Breda Pest Management. They handle bugs and critters.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
When you come home after being away, you see your home with fresh eyes. And eventually, you'll roll up to your old garage door and finally notice how chipped and faded that rusty old slab really is. But that's the first thing people see when they come visit. A 250-square-foot bent aluminum lime green garage door that also squeaks. Welcome to our home. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. Our design consultants can help you find a strong, quiet, modern garage door that anyone would be proud to come home to. Modern materials that won't crack, dent, or fade. In contemporary styles that showcase your home's design. Call Mo Better Garage and let us show you just how joyful arriving back home can be.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
This is Jonathan Geller at D. Geller & Son Jewelers, where we're bringing you the biggest diamond engagement and wedding event of the year. Our fall bridal event is back. For one weekend only, take advantage of exclusive savings, extensive designer lines, and an incredible event-only diamond selection. Discover the engagement ring of your dreams, or choose the perfect his and hers wedding bands from an unbelievable selection from the world's top jewelry designers. Whether you're shopping for an engagement, wedding, or celebrating an anniversary or milestone, D. Geller & Son's fall bridal event is the only place you'll have this many choices and get this much value, because we're bringing all these designers under one roof with savings nobody else can offer. Up to $3,000 off when you make an appointment, or 36 months 0% APR financing. So come join us at D. Geller & Son's Fall Bridal event, October 24th through 26th in Kennesaw and Sandy Springs. Make an appointment at dgeller.com.
Affordable jewelry for everyone is at D. Geller & Son.
1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Attention Georgia homeowners, what if your windows actually paid you back? I know that sounds crazy, but let me explain. Hey, it's Ray, owner of Window Comfort. At Window Comfort, our factory direct windows are so energy efficient that most homeowners see their power bills drop enough to cover their monthly payment. And right now, you can get buy two, get two windows free. Plus, we're going to throw in free installation when you schedule your free estimate this month. And here's my guarantee. If your energy bills don't drop by at least 35% in the first 12 months, we're going to pay you the difference in cash. I'm that confident. Every window we install is backed by a double lifetime warranty, and they're built specifically for Georgia. You have nothing to lose and everything to save. Beat the cold this year. It takes 30 seconds to see if you qualify. Go to windowcomfort.com.
Terms and conditions apply. See windowcomfort.com.
Better prices, better views. Window Comfort, meant just for you. Window Comfort.
I believe that's off 5150. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. Happy 78th birthday, Sammy Hagar from Van Hagar. I Can't Drive 55. That's his iconic, right?
That's probably his biggest hit, sure.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so this, David Lee Roth's birthday was Friday, and Sammy Hagar's is Monday. Interesting. Happy birthday to both. All right, government shutdown, day 13. CBS's Bradley Blackburn reports no sign there's going to be an agreement reached to reopen the government anytime soon.
As a dispute over health care subsidies rages on, the impacts are rippling across the country. More than 4,000 federal workers were sent termination notices last week, and hundreds of thousands, like Seton Parsons, have been furloughed. He was volunteering at a food pantry over the weekend while facing a squeeze himself.
Definitely lots of budget bites and cooking for yourself at home.
President Trump talked to the press, again threatening to end some government programs if the shutdown continues. President also said that layoffs will target federal employees for programs favored by Democrats. It is day 13 of the government shutdown. Chin up if you have not lost your job, or if you did lose your job, or if you're impacted at all by the government shutdown. Keep your chin up. All right, let's go back to Egypt now. Nick Robertson, President Trump's about to join the summit there. Give us the lay of the land.
Yeah, President Trump joked about, he wondered if by the time he got here, running more than 3 hours late, that the leaders would actually be waiting for him. But interestingly, the leaders have been using the time, it appears, to good advantage and having a lot of bilateral meetings on the margins here. And of course, it all is focused on how to get to the implementation of President Trump's 20-point peace plan. Things like the stabilization force inside of Gaza. How big should it be? Who should be on it? Who should pay for it? What mandate does it have? Should it have the backing of the UN? We've got a window into just some of the bilaterals here from Downing Street. Prime Minister Keir Starmer was one of the first to arrive in here. He's had a meeting with Emmanuel Macron. They both paid tribute to the intermediaries, the negotiators, to Qatar, to Egypt, to Turkey. Starmer's also had a meeting with the Qatari Emir. He's also had a meeting with the Turkish President Erdogan. And in that meeting, they both talked about the sort of top issue here, taking the momentum of phase one and turning into momentum for phase two. But actually, one of the sort of interesting little windows into the back scenes of what's going on, we also heard in a communication from Downing Street, quoting what they'd heard from and been told by Steve Witkoff. Steve Witkoff praising a man called Jonathan Powell. Now, here's a name our audience may not be so familiar with. He is the National Security Advisor for Keir Starmer, but perhaps more significantly, he was the Chief of Staff to Tony Blair. Tony Blair, who's going to take up a prime role on the peace board for the future governance and establishing that in Gaza and what happens inside of Gaza. Jonathan Powell was Tony Blair's Chief of Staff during the Good Friday Peace Agreement in Northern Ireland in 1998. And when we read through President Trump's 20-point plan about weapons, what to happen to weapons, a new word sort of floated to the foreground there. Putting the weapons beyond use, rather than Hamas destroying their weapons, handing them over to Israel or somebody else, decommissioning the weapons. Now, that was language that Jonathan Powell used extensively during the Good Friday peace process. So you can.
That's Nick Robertson in Egypt. President Trump and Air Force One just landing in Egypt right now. We'll continue our coverage of the summit there on this historic day. What does Eric Erickson think about the hostage release and the peace plan? He joins us live next on the Mark Arum Show.
It's time to renovate your home, and you've got designs in your head, but will they pass code? Hire Sketchhouse Architects before you call a builder to make sure your design is up to code and zoning compliant. Hi, I'm Richard Taylor, architect at Sketchhouse. We're going to make this easy to get your ideas on paper, and Sketchhouse will connect you with multiple builders to bid on your job through the Sketchhouse Builders Network. You're going to save thousands of dollars with Sketchhouse Architects. We're going to make this easy for you. Go to sketchhouse.com. That's sketch, H-A-U-S, sketchhouse.com.
Attention all of you guys out there that on dating apps have a picture of you from like 10, 12, 15 years ago when you still had a full head of hair. Don't disappoint those that swipe left or right. I don't know which one it is. Make sure when you show up for that first date off the dating app, you have the same hair you did in your profile pictures. It's Mark Arum back from my pals at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair is the place, guys. Quick, simple, one-day treatment, and your real hair begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed guaranteed to grow for life. If you want to get your hair back and match it up with your dating profile picture, now's the time. Advanced Hair is the place. Takes just one visit, but first, you'll need a free consultation. Schedule now, 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com. And if you move forward, you get $250 off plus 250 free grafts. One-day treatment, life-changing results, your own natural hair guaranteed to grow. Check them out online at advancedhair.com.
It's the Medicare Advantage annual enrollment period, and Humana knows not everyone has the same needs when picking a Medicare Advantage plan.
Now that I'm retired, I want to enjoy the life I've worked hard to build. So I want a plan that covers me when I'm traveling the country.
Humana has a plan for that.
As a veteran, I want a plan that fills in the gaps my VA coverage doesn't provide, like dental care.
Humana has a plan for that.
I feel good about my health. I just want care and coverage with predictable costs. No surprises.
Humana has a plan for that. With a Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you get coverage and benefits that focus on what matters most to you. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Want to save 1,000 bones on your next roof? Dave Baker here for Findlay Roofing, the roof guys. Right now, save $1,000 on your roof replacement. Hurry, this treat ends on Halloween. FindlayRoofing.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hi there. Good morning. It is 10:30. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by your Metro Atlanta Amco dealers. Major developments from the Middle East this morning.
CBS News special report. President Trump is due in Sharm el-Sheikh shortly for summit on Gaza's future. Even though the first phase of the peace agreement has been accomplished, White House correspondent Nancy Cordes says there's still much to do.
An orderly Israeli withdrawal from Gaza must still be worked out, along with a plan for Hamas fighters to hand over their weapons. And then, who exactly will govern Gaza? Who will rebuild it? And how many countries will fund that work?
Phase one was the release of the hostages. CBS's Linda Gradstein.
Hamas released the hostages in two groups to the Red Cross. They were then handed over to Israeli soldiers and met their families at an army base before being flown to the hospital.
Israel also released hundreds of Palestinian prisoners. President Trump speaking to the Israeli parliament.
Generations from now, this will be remembered as the moment that everything began to change, and change very much for the better.
CBS News special report. I'm Peter King.
All right, your weather for today. Sunny skies warming up this afternoon. Highs around 81, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. But heavy rain, strong winds, and coastal flooding impacting much of the East Coast and will continue through Tuesday as a powerful storm moves out. Janet Reeves is with the city of Lewis, Delaware.
They are expecting major coastal flooding. There's a good possibility of evacuation. So we want to make sure that we're prepared for that.
Coastal flood, rough surf, and high wind advisories posted for much of the East Coast. The storm dumping nearly 10 inches of rain in places like South Carolina. This is News Since Atlanta's Morning News. In case you're just joining us, Vernon Jones throwing his hat into the ring for the race of Secretary of State, the longtime Democrat switching to the Republican Party in 2021. He released an official announcement on video on X today.
Hello, Georgia. I'm Vernon Jones. With faith in God, love for Georgia, and loyalty to the American First Movement, I'm running to be your Secretary of State.
Jones served as CEO of DeKalb County from 2001 to 2009, also had two separate stints in the Georgia State House of Representatives. Jones is joining several other Republicans and one Democrat seeking to fill the seat of outgoing Secretary Brad Raffensperger, who recently announced that he plans to run for governor of Georgia. Update on the federal government shutdown. Rachel Scott has the latest on workers who've been impacted.
We are learning that the Trump administration is now working to rehire members of the CDC who were mistakenly fired. We are told that those employees were working on programs like responding to the Ebola outbreak in Africa, as well as the measles outbreak here in the United States. A federal health official telling us that they were let go by mistake due to a coding error and are now being brought back.
All right, we are in day 13 of this shutdown. Well, this year's Columbus Day holiday coincides with a significant milestone for the U.S. Navy. It was on October 13th, 1775, the Continental Congress approved the creation of the nation's first naval force, making this time making this, I should say, the Navy's 250th birthday. Back then, the Continental Navy consisted of just 2 ships and a crew of 80 men. Today, the U.S. Navy has more than 340,000 active duty sailors and about 71,000 reservists. Let's take a look at the markets. A much better day than we had on Friday. The Dow's up 422 at 45,902. So the Dow's up almost a full percent. NASDAQ's up almost 2%. And the S&P's up more than a full percent here at 1034. It's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Ashley Frasca's in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Everybody staying out of that right lane as a crash clears on 75 south past Wade Green, on and off the brakes beginning before 92, but things are generally improving as you head into Kennesaw. 85 south, that crash, they moved themselves to the shoulder at Indian Trail, and some delays rolling out of Decula through the work zone on Highway 316 west at Cedars Road. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Mostly sunny this afternoon, warming up to a high of 81, lows tonight in the mid-50s. Tomorrow, sunshine, high 83. Mostly sunny on Wednesday, morning low 58, afternoon high 54.
68 degrees in Decatur, 67 in Jonesboro. Powder Springs has 65 degrees. We'll have more news at 11 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
The news of the day through the eyes of Eric Von Hessler.
The way you should live your life is look at the way they're doing it at D.C. and then just run.
If it's on your mind, it's on his.
Other people are getting away with it, so you should get away with it.
Eric Von Hessler. Today at 3.
Well, your best day ever would have been a Tuesday. Who knows?
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
This week, against all odds, we have done the impossible and brought our hostages home.
President Trump earlier this morning, the hostage and peace deal. Eric Erickson's reaction to this historic day. He joins us live in 2 minutes on the Mark Arum Show.
Hey, it's Scott Slade for FGA Roofing. If your home's exterior could use an updated look, or maybe one of your neighbor's designer roofs has caught your eye, and your current roof has started to show its age, then now's the perfect time to check out FGA Roofing for the latest in architectural shingles, timberland shingles, and more. Slate, tile, wood shake, cedar roofs, FGA has them all. FGA Roofing offers 0% financing for 12 months with your good credit. Get the roof you want now and pay over time. Just search FGA Roofing to get started with a free quote today.
Whether it's a slip that ends in a slip disc, a trick knee that's holding you back, or shoulder pain hurting your game, you can count on Northside Hospital Orthopedics. With leading care in Georgia at convenient locations all across the state, we're here to get you back on your feet, no matter what comes your way. Because Georgia moves us, and we keep Georgia moving. Find a provider near you at northside.com/ortho. That's northside.com/ORTHO.
Summer might officially be ending, but the savings on a new AC unit just beginning. Hey, friends, it's Mark Arum back from my pals at Reliable. Check this amazing end-of-season savings deal. Any size AC, just $69.99 a month, 0 down, low monthly payments, unbeatable lifetime warranty, and 24/7 customer service. 24/7. Book an appointment for a convenient time right on their website at reliableair.com. Click on the Book Now button or call or text 770-594-9969.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. We can reawaken any space to make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
At Butler Lexus of South Atlanta, you're their priority. From personalized service to luxury amenities, they make sure you feel valued every step of the way. Buying or servicing, your experience matters. Call 800-NEW-LEXUS. Butler Lexus South Atlanta, the standard of amazing.
This is the historic dawn of a new Middle East.
Certainly a historic day. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show, covering the breaking news. All the living hostages have been released. A peace deal in place between Israel and Hamas 2+ years after the horrific terrorist attack by Hamas against Israel on October 7th. Continuing our team coverage of this breaking news, joining us live as he does every Monday at this time, our good friend Eric Erickson. Eric, good morning. Thanks for your time.
Good morning.
I'm going to ask the same question I asked White House correspondent John Decker at the top of the show. Is this the highlight? Is this the greatest achievement of the Trump presidencies, do you think?
Yeah, I think hands down it absolutely is. I mean, it's a phenomenally big deal that the president has been able to pull this off. When you've got, I mean, everybody, MSNBC to PBS to CNN giving the president credit for this, it's very notable how what you're hearing is from progressives who don't like him, the absence of his name, but praise for the deal, which is very telling.
I mean, listen, so far, sunshine and roses. I was dubious that Hamas would release all 20 living hostages, but we got confirmation they're working with the Red Cross to release the deceased hostages. That was what my stomach was in a knot. Like, is Hamas going to hold back a couple just to keep leverage? But so far, so good. Now what happens to the region? President Trump just arrived in Egypt for the summit. Gaza's future, what will Gaza look like if this peace deal holds going forward, Eric?
Well, I mean, that's why he's arrived in Egypt to Sharm el-Sheikh. They're going to have these conversations. Hamas, early reports show, are going through Gaza right now, killing anyone who could stand in opposition to them. They're being pretty brutal with what they're doing. They're trying to reassert control, in large part because over the last month there have been a lot of people who have been publicly agitating against Hamas, thinking their time was done. So they're trying to kill any dissidents to double down, which suggests that the second part of the deal's plan, which is amnesty for Hamas and it goes away and disbands, is not going to happen. That's going to be the hard thing. However, if you get Qatar and you get Egypt and you get Jordan and Saudi Arabia and the others to agree to a redevelopment plan of Gaza that excludes Hamas, suddenly Hamas's safe havens all go away except for Iran, which is largely decapitated and unable to handle Hamas at this point.
President Trump, I don't know if you were able to watch it or listen, delivered over an hour-long speech to the Knesset, and it was the prototypical Trump speech where he was on the teleprompter and then went off the teleprompter and he was, I mean, rounds of applause throughout the hour-plus interview.
Yeah.
One thing that's, I mean, and praising a lot of, heaping a lot of praise on the Israeli Prime Minister, on Steve Witkoff, on Jared Kushner. I want to play some audio, though. President Trump talking about Marco Rubio's role in all this.
A man named Marco Rubio, who is also here.
He went on to say, Eric, that Marco Rubio could go down in history as the greatest Secretary of State of all time. That's high praise.
Yeah, it is really high praise, and it's also notable that it sets up the rivalry between Vance and Rubio moving forward, although you are starting to wonder if you're starting to see a ticket form early, a Vance-Rubio ticket where Vance is focused on domestic policy, Rubio on foreign policy. It seems like that's what the president would prefer. We'll see if he can get it.
Interesting. Eric Erickson joining us live on the Mark Arum Show. I got to ask you about what the heck happened. I guess it was Friday with the Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. I don't misquoted, misrepresented. I don't know, but the headline was, could the Qataris have an Air Force base in Idaho? I watched the video. It sounds like it's nothing out of the ordinary. They're just going to be housing the Qatari fighter pilots during the training. Am I misreading that situation? What exactly went down?
No, you're not. So Boeing has built some F-15s and FA-18s specifically for Qatar. Even inside the jets, the writing is in Arabic. And so they're bringing these Qatari pilots to Montana, to a facility they've set up just for them to be able to learn how to fly the planes. It's not a Qatari base, it's an American base. But the jets are bound for Qatar, and they need to learn how to not just use them, but also use them in dogfights and the like.
So, clarification, the United States is not going to allow Qatar to build their own Air Force base on American soil, because that was the initial takeaway on social media. Like, what is he talking? No, and this is something that we've done with other foreign nations, right? When we sell them aircraft, they come in and we house them in dormitories or whatever, and their families are here and we train them.
This is really nothing new. So I mean, it's we've done this for others. The president made a deal with Qatar. In exchange, Qatar helped neutralize Hamas, and so we're just living up to our end of the deal.
So everyone can settle down. There's no Qatari Air Force base being built in Idaho, no matter what Laura Loomer posts on social media.
Correct.
Everyone just calm down. One more international story, if you don't mind, Eric. additional 100% additional rates, tariff rates on China because of what they announced on rare earth minerals. This sounds like it could be a big deal.
Yeah, now I am getting some news here this morning, Mark, that this might have been a misunderstanding between the president and Xi Jinping. China last night released some clarification on their export controls, saying it was not a full export ban, and that as long as the application meets regulations for China, that will be permitted, and that includes U.S. military application meets the regulation. So it looks like they definitely are inserting more controls, but it's not a complete ban as was originally reported, and that sent the stock market into the nosedive on Friday.
Yeah, I mean, it tanked on Friday. Thankfully, it's rebounded today. I'm sure the president's speech and the peace deal and the prospect of peace in the Middle East has eased some concerns on Wall Street. But I would imagine we're going to hear from President Trump on Air Force One after he leads Egypt. Now, since things were lost in translation originally, maybe President Trump, pumps the brakes on those additional 100% tariffs?
He just might. There very much appears that China went into damage control. And part of me thinks, based on some of the reporting at the end of last week, that the Chinese thought that the president was distracted between the peace deal and between the government shutdown and might be able to pull one over on him. And that's not actually the case. So the Chinese are now clarifying, which is walking back their position.
I don't know if you heard Sabrina Cupid's story in the news just before you came on. Vernon Jones is going to be running for Secretary of State of Georgia. I know Gabriel Sterling is also running. Vernon Jones, chances of winning Secretary of State?
Probably not. I'm a friend of Gabe Sterling's. I do question his abilities given his ties to Brad Raffensperger. It's going to be very tough. Tim Fleming, of course, who was the governor's chief of staff and then went into the Senate, is also running for Secretary of State. A couple others in there. It's a very crowded field, and the broader ties to the Republican coalition are going to help. And I'm just not sure that Vernon Jones really has those ties.
All right, I'm going to throw a hypothesis at you, Eric, since I brought up Secretary of State. 2028, whether it's a Rubio Vance ticket or a Vance Rubio ticket, et cetera, assuming the Republicans win, Brian Kemp, the next Secretary of State of the United States.
It could happen, although I would just say that he very much did not want to run for president because he didn't want to be in D.C. So I'm not sure that he would want to go there. I will say this. I think the odds are probably greater that he's the next chancellor of the university system of Georgia than he is Secretary of State of the United States.
So I can withdraw my application to be the next chancellor.
Probably.
Okay, all right. I just thought, with all the foreign trips that Governor Kemp's made, the strong business ties, like he really has the international bona fides to take over.
Yeah, he really does. He'd also be a great commerce secretary. I mean, he could fit the bill for a lot of them, but I think his love is of Georgia.
All right. I was just throwing that hypothesis out there. What's coming up on the show today, my friend?
We're going to start off with the president's speech, and of course, what's going on in Sharm el-Sheikh. We expect him to speak by about noon. And I got a question. I gotta delve into today. When does this man ever sleep?
I say that all the time. Like, I work 3 hours a day. Now, granted, there's show prep and there's stuff after, and I'm 30 plus years younger, or about 30 years younger than Trump. I don't have the energy to do anything. And this guy's.
I don't know when the man sleeps. It's impressive.
HGH? Steroids? What's the dude on?
I don't know. I no idea.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Eric, I'll be listening on my way home. Thank you so much, my friend.
All right, take care.
All right, quick break. We're going to come back and update our top local stories still to come on the show. Very excited. Comedian Fortune Feimster is going to join us. And as Eric mentioned, President Trump has arrived in Egypt for the summit on Gaza's future. We'll go back to Egypt for the latest there. Right now, though, the latest on the interstate system here in the metro Atlanta area. Live with the latest, Ashley Frasca.
Just getting eyes on the West Freeway. As you leave Lithia Springs, it looks like a stalled car has moved to the right shoulder. I-20 eastbound past Thornton Road. Just a tap of the brakes there. Things improving between Ackworth and Kennesaw. Earlier truck crash on the shoulder. 75 south past Wade Green. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
When traffic hits.
I-75 completely shut down north and south between McDonough and Locust Grove.
The Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
Brake lights fill in on 316 westbound at Sugarloaf Parkway.
Your source for Atlanta's traffic.
Heavy police fire department activity.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Two houses, same neighborhood, nearly identical on paper, but one had an orchard sign and it sold for a lot more. So what gives? Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler. The first seller went the trad route. Agent, open houses, price drops, long size, and eventually they gave in and settled for less. The second seller, they went with Orchard. Orchard didn't just list the home, they launched it. Their local agent knew which upgrades would get attention, brought in the right team, and handled everything like a well-oiled home selling machine. Oh, and they also let the seller move first with Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program. That means no showings while living in a half-packed house, no buyers judging your choice of throw pillows, just peace, quiet, and top dollar. One got stress, the other got smart. Don't settle. Sell the smart way with Orchard. Start with a free home valuation at orchard.com. That's orchard.com.
Hi, I'm Dale with TrustDale.com. For over a decade, I've trusted America's Best Choice for windows, doors, siding, and decks. And with their 3-way warranty, including my $10,000 Make It Right guarantee, you can invest with confidence.
That's right, Dale. America's Best Choice offers highest quality, energy-efficient windows and special pricing on custom decks. We also offer beautiful siding, doors, and now roofing, all with no pressure, no gimmicks. Visit abcwin.com for your free in-home estimate. America's Best Choice. Quality you can trust, prices you can afford.
Worried about market losses? If headlines are keeping you up at night, it's time to take control. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I know you've worked hard to save. But in times like these, what if can turn into what now? If you're planning to retire or are in retirement, you need a strategy that helps protect your future. At Trajan Wealth, you can capture market gains, protect your account from losses, and guarantee income for life. Right now, you could receive a bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. You heard me right. An upfront bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10%, all guaranteed to boost your lifetime income in retirement. Don't leave your future to chance. Plan with confidence. Call 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company, DBA, in most states as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Been wanting a new deck for your home, something that's built just the way you want it, but you're scared to pull the trigger? I can help you with that. Dave Baker here for Ben Hill Renovations. Right now, Ben Hill Renovations are offering special financing. No interest if you pay in full within the 18 months promo period. You're welcome. Visit bhrenovations.com today and schedule a free design consultation at your home. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why the big wireless companies want you on an unlimited plan? It's because they need you to help cover the costs of the 20-somethings who are using a lot of data every month. Fact is, according to the latest research studies, most people 50 and up, like me, only use 12 gigs or less each month. Don't get bamboozled by big wireless. At Consumer Cellular, pick what suits your needs. Whether it's 1 gig, 5, 10, or unlimited, the point is, pay for exactly what you need and nothing more. We use the same towers as the big guys, but since we don't own and maintain them, we can pass the savings on to you. Our plans start at just $20 a month, and you'll get the best customer service in the business. I want to invite you to join the millions of people who choose something better than Big Wireless. Because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
I think it's the first time I've ever heard that song. It's Paper Roses, sung by Marie Osmond, who turned 66 years old today. She been on the show? I know Donnie's been on the show, Deborah. We've ever had Marie on?
I don't remember having Marie on, at least not since I've been here.
Paper Roses. I'd never heard that song before. Anyway, happy 66th birthday. A couple of stories in the Southeast. I guess they're not local, but they're local adjacent. First off, this shooting at a South Carolina bar. 4 people dead, 20 others injured after a mass shooting at a crowded bar on the South Carolina island of St. Helena. WCST TV reporter Carolyn Spikes has more.
As of now, no arrests have been made, but deputies say they are investigating persons of interest. Local lawmakers have released statements following the incident. State Representative Nancy Mace says she's, quote, completely heartbroken and that her thoughts and prayers are with the victims and their loved ones.
And it's right over the Georgia border, so I mean, very close there. I did reach out to that reporter Caroline Spikes from WCST CTV to see if she can get on and get any more information, but a horrible story there and a horrible story in Tennessee. An explosion at a what kind of factory, Deborah?
Yeah, 18 people missing after a bomb factory. There was a blast that went off. Now the sheriff's department has been out there. They said that they've gone through like every possible inch that they could for this place, and they haven't found any survivors. So they're trying to identify remains by using DNA. But like 300 crews helped out once the blast went off. And this is a bomb factory that tests explosives for the government. And they've actually been given a bunch of contracts and awards from the Army and Navy.
I mean, obviously, there are bomb factories, right? I just never thought of like, oh, where are you going to work? I work at the bomb factory. Like, that's a thing.
Yeah, not since World War II or something.
Yeah, exactly. But apparently, like, there are no survivors.
They're saying there's no way there could be a survivor at this point.
But we don't know how it happened or what happened.
It's under investigation. They're not quite sure what caused it, so they still haven't released any information.
Yeah, that story broke over this weekend. I was like, well, a bomb factory? Obviously they exist, but I didn't know. But thoughts and prayers to everyone there in the Tennessee. We got to get. Hopefully it's nothing nefarious, right? I mean, it's horrible either way. But hopefully it was just some sort of a malfunction or. But that was one of the stories. I did full show research this weekend. I only left the house once this weekend, Longoria. Maya was out of town on a girls' trip. So I just stayed home at Soba, was binge watching TV and watching cable news. And the only time I left the house, I'd run out of Nespresso pods. That's the good coffee. So I ran to Target to get Nespresso pods and mouthwash. So I don't have
surprised
coffee
you didn't
bread.
Uber Eats that.
And then
I'm surprised.
Well, because I wanted to go to IHOP.
Oh,
So I went to IHOP, and I am a fan of IHOP. I've gone to IHOP for years. I have never been in an IHOP where someone was celebrating a birthday. Have you ever,
really?
Have you ever had that experience?
Before, yeah.
It was I was there for about an hour. Shout out to the IHOP on La Vista Road, and not one but 2 people were celebrating birthdays at IHOP, and the whole place went nuts. So like all the servers and everyone come out and they but it wasn't like happy birthday. They got their own little IHOP birthday
song.
I
don't think they can legally do the actual happy birthday
really?
song. Yeah, that's why all
it's
restaurants
copyrighted now.
Yeah, that's why all restaurants
songs.
didn't have their own version of it.
So I can't sing happy birthday right now?
You're not supposed to on that. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
all
gonna
right.
get a text
Anyway,
from Ken.
it was awesome. Like the whole I was clapping. I was there by myself.
Is that where your next party's at? The IHOP?
Ooh, maybe. But what I thought was really cool was one of the servers. So I was sitting next to a table. A kid was having his birthday. He was probably like 7, 8 years old. And he was excited. They brought out a pancake with a candle in it or whatever. And then the server, wasn't even the server of his table. Guy gave the kid $5 and was like, happy birthday. I was like, that is the sweetest thing I ever had.
I'm going to start going to IHOP
December
on my birthday.
17th. You're invited to my birthday.
There you go.
Yeah, it was a shout out to IHOP. That was fun. That was a fun experience. All right, Sabrina has your news, weather and traffic in less than 3. When we come back, going back live to Egypt, President Trump now there. speaking with other heads of state as we continue to cover this historic peace deal and the hostage release. An amazing story. Our coverage continues next on The Mark Arum Show.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
October is here, and this is a perfect month for home comfort. Dave Baker for Coolray Heating and Cooling. See, in October, it'll still get plenty warm during the day, but it will get cool at night. So with the purchase of a complete Carrier system, Coolray's offering up to $2,250 back in rebates and free installation. That's heat, cool, and free installation. Get a jump start on keeping your home comfortable. Book your appointment online today at Coolray.com. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
Are you coming today? Are you not coming today? Hi, this is Candace from Exovations. Are you tired of having to chase your contractors around? If you're looking to remodel the outside of your home, then have I got a tip for you. Use Exovations. You'll know exactly when we're coming, when your project's going to be complete, and what you're paying for before you even start the project. Schedule your appointment today at exovations.com. EXOVATIONS.com.
Atlanta DIY landlords, listen up. If you're exhausted from managing your rental properties all by yourself, my friends at Renters Warehouse Atlanta offering a 90-day test drive. Hire Renters Warehouse to manage your rental property for a low flat monthly fee as low as $115. If you're not satisfied at any time in the first 3 months, you can fire them. Get your management fees back. What do you get for that low flat monthly fee? A dedicated property management team, maintenance coordination, move in and move out property condition reports, advanced tenant screening with a 9-month tenant warranty, professional photography and videography, lease renewal processing and negotiations, online rent collection, monthly owner cash flow statements, and more. Renters Warehouse, so confident you'll love their service, they want an addition for your business. Choice is yours. Keep DIYing or see how Renters Warehouse can make your life easier. Start your 90-day test drive today. Go to rwatlanta.com or call 404-662-2322, 404-662-2322.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by the Next Generation Xfinity 10G network. We do have a breaking new developments this morning. A global summit getting underway on the future of Gaza.
CBS News special report. President Trump has just arrived in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, for a summit on Gaza's future. He spoke to Israel's parliament just hours after Hamas released its 20 remaining living hostages and after Israel released hundreds of Palestinian prisoners.
The long and painful nightmare is finally over.
CBS's Tony DeCopel is in Jerusalem.
Former hostages finally back in the arms of their loved ones. And there is also rejoicing among the Palestinians. Buses with prisoners and detainees swapped for Israeli hostages, and aid trucks have been pulling in, filled with food and with medicine.
CBS's Deborah Patta is in Tel Aviv's Hostage Square.
President Trump's speech was played live for everybody in the square, and when he started speaking, tumultuous cheers. He is regarded as a hero, as is Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff.
CBS News special report. I'm Peter King.
All right, so your weather for today, sunny skies. It's going to warm up as the day goes on. Afternoon highs around 81, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in just over 2 minutes. 60 people displaced after a fire at an apartment complex in Norcross. The Gwinnett County Fire Department saying the Red Cross assisting those impacted. This fire started on a top-floor balcony. Investigators are not sure at this time what started that blaze. Former state representative in DeKalb County CEO Vernon Jones announcing today he's running to be Georgia's next Secretary of State. He made that announcement this morning on X. He's running as a Republican. You know, he changed parties back in 2021. He joined several other Republicans and one Democrat seeking to fill the seat of outgoing Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, who recently announced that he plans to run for governor of Georgia. Rideshare company Lyft says it's ending a test that allows some drivers to see how often a rider tips.
The company began the experiment just last month. It showed drivers rider tipped on X% of rides before they decided to accept a trip. News of the experiment triggered blowback, though, on social media among some users.
Gina Cervetti reports drivers will still be able to see how often customers are ready at their designated pickup locations. Gas prices are down here in Georgia on this Columbus Day. We're paying an average of $2.87 for regular unleaded. That's 3 cents lower than last month, but still 16 cents higher than we were paying this time last year. Gasoline demand has hit a 4-month low. It cost an average of just over $43 to fill up a 15-gallon tank with regular unleaded. And it appears that there will be far fewer seasonal jobs during the upcoming holidays. Correspondent Jim Krasula has more.
Tariffs and other economic factors are prompting retailers to pull back or even delay plans to hire workers for the upcoming Christmas shopping season. One job placement firm predicts that hiring for the last 3 months of the year will likely fall to its lowest level since the 2009 recession.
Yeah, it's estimated that retailers will fill some 500,000 positions or fewer than the last 3 months of the year. The average seasonal gain in 2005 was more than 650,000 seasonal workers. Well, stocks are surging on Wall Street. The Dow Jones Industrial Average has been up close to 500 points at times today. The S&P 500, NASDAQ have been up 1% as well. This comes after President Trump said, "Don't worry about China," in a Truth Social post yesterday. That after he posted about increasing tariffs against the country on Friday. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Sabrina. And pretty good out on the roadways. We did have some trouble cleared, been lingering on the right shoulder up in between Ackworth and Kennesaw, 75 South Wade, around Wade Green Road, exit 273. Tapping the brakes through Midtown and downtown, 75, 85 southbound, 17th Street down toward North Avenue. It'll get busy downtown this afternoon and evening with the Falcons game at the Bend, so we will be here to guide you through all of those congested spots. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Sunny skies today, high 81, lows tonight in the mid-50s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high 83. Sunshine prevails on Wednesday with highs in the mid-80s.
68 degrees in Johns Creek at 67 in Douglasville. Covington, you have 70 degrees. We'll have more news at 11:30, breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
No, I want this town to be near you.
11:04 on this historic Monday edition of the Mark Arum Show. Welcome back, friends. We are with you till noon. Coming up in 30 minutes, Deborah's got tickets to give away to see Heart. Comedian Fortune Feimster is going to join us live as well. But we continue the breaking news, the hostage release, the peace deal in Israel. President Trump addressed the Israeli Knesset before heading to Egypt. He is now in Egypt at Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt, talking with world leaders. Let's listen in for a second.
I've been very confident that Your Excellency is the only one who's capable of bringing this about and bringing an end to this war.
وأنا في خلال اتصالي بفخامة الرئيس ذكرت له ذلك قلت له فخامة الرئيس أنت وحدك القادر على تحقيق السلام في منطقتنا.
I even said that very precisely during my communication with Your Excellency, that you are the only one who is able to bring about.
I believe that is the president of Qatar through a translator seated next to President Trump. All the leaders in the region in Egypt right now for this Gaza summit on what the future of Gaza might look like. I was able to grab right before the news President Trump addressing reporters.
No idea what they're doing, but they don't have crime. I ask about crime and they almost don't even know what I'm talking about. So it's a great tribute to this man. He's done a fantastic job in bringing this country together, and the United States is with him all the way. Thank you. Okay, all the way, and it's an honor to be with you.
Sir, what will Egypt's role play in the peace process here?
We played a very important role, and they had a very important role with Hamas. In fact, the general was right here, was very instrumental because Hamas respects this country and they respect the leadership of Egypt. So he played a very important role. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Thank you. President Trump, in Israel just now, you were talking about a possible Iran peace deal. You said, we are ready when you are. Yeah. Is that the ultimate goal with today's signing to get enough?
Not Iran, but I think Iran will come along. They've been battered and bruised, and you know they need some help. They're big sanctions, as you know, tremendous sanctions. I'd love to take the sanctions off when they're ready to talk. But they can't really survive with those sanctions. Those sanctions are very tough. But at some point, they're going to say, we want the sanctions off. We're going to end up with peace. I think Iran is going to be fine. I know so many Iranian people. They're great people. They're smart, great, great people. Engineers, lawyers, I mean, they're academics. But they took a big hit. And frankly, if we didn't hit them on the nuclear, I don't think you would have been able to have this incredible, this deal, this once-in-a-lifetime deal. No.
All right, so that was President Trump there, but it wasn't with the Qatari president. That was the Egypt president. Speaking in Egypt, arriving for the Gaza summit. The summit has not yet begun. Enough with war, welcome to peace is the message that Egypt's President Sisi said in a post welcoming Trump to his country. Egypt's President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi has welcomed United States President Donald Trump to the country. Again, ongoing is this summit in Egypt regarding the future of Gaza. What happens next after this huge, huge peace deal has been agreed to between Israel and Hamas? Again, if you're just joining us, all 20 of the living hostages being held by Hamas have been reunited with their families in Israel, which I was dubious was going to happen. They had a 72-hour window, but it did happen. Already 250 Palestinians held in prison in Israel have been sent back to Gaza. There'll be, I believe, 1,200 more that were awaiting charges will be sent. But obviously, in a phenomenal, huge, huge deal in the Mideast right now. We're going to monitor what's going on in that Gaza summit against former UK Prime Minister Tony Blair is going to be heading up this summit and starting this new coalition of peace. He was asked, President Trump there in that audio I just played, I believe that was Ducey from Fox News. Apparently, President Trump mentioned Iran and possible an Iranian peace deal out of this. President kind of backed up on that, said, hey, no, but we're welcome to the table. I do want to play, I've been playing audio of President Trump's speech throughout. But again, President Trump, as is his wont, will go prompter, off the cuff, prompter. But I think it's important to hear the end of his speech. This is how he finished up his over hour-long speech this morning to the Israeli Knesset.
And just in closing, the leaders in this chamber know better than anyone else the challenges of this harmony, and it's been easily won. No, it hasn't. It has not been. It's been so tough, but it has been, some say, a miracle. What you've done is a miracle. Look at your size. Look at your chances when it all started. And if you think about it, you are safer today, stronger today, and more respected today than at any time in the history of Israel. Think of it. People used to say it wouldn't exist. They don't say that anymore, do they? Yet if safety, security, and coexistence can thrive here in the winding alleys and ancient paths of Jerusalem, then surely peace and respect can flourish among the nations of the broader Middle East. The God who once dwelled among his people in this city still calls us, in the words of Scripture, the turn from evil and do good, to seek peace and pursue it. So he still whispers truth into the hills and knolls and valleys of his magnificent creation, and he still writes hope into the hearts of his children all over the world. And that is why even after 3,000 years of pain and conflict, the people of Israel have never given up from the threats of Zionism, from all sorts of threats. You want the promise of Zion. You want the promise of success and hope and love and God. And the people of America have never lost faith in the promise of a great and blessed future for all of us. From the very first day that modern Israel was founded, we have stood together through thick and thin of setbacks, and through victory and defeat, through glory and heartache. We have built industries together. We have made discoveries together. We have confronted evil together, and we have waged war together. And perhaps most beautifully of all, we have made peace together. And this week, against all odds, we have done the impossible and brought our hostages home.
That's President Trump earlier this morning addressing the Knesset. Obviously, a historic day. If you're just joining us, all things go on the 20-point peace plan between Israel and Hamas. The remaining 20 surviving hostages have been returned to their families. Prisoner swap ongoing. Red Cross assisting. And we talked, Deborah, earlier to Linda Gradstein in Jerusalem from CBS. Apparently, Linda saying that the hostages looked skinny and pale, but overall were in better shape than expected. So obviously a massive story. The summit ongoing right now in Egypt. President Trump and other leaders of the region, including the president of Egypt there and the former prime minister of the United Kingdom, Tony Blair, is going to be heading up this peace council. A big story. We'll continue to update throughout the day here on 95.5 WSB. You might not know this, but early voting starts in less than a month. Joining us live in studio here on the Mark Arum Show, our buddy Tim Echols. Tim, good morning. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, it's less than a day. It starts tomorrow.
I thought it was November. It started in November. No.
Yeah, October 14th, early voting. Elections November 4th. But all of this pales in comparison to what's happening with those hostages. Let's just put it all in perspective. Yeah. That's really what matters today, period.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm glad you were in the neighborhood. You were able to stop in. Public Service Commission. People listening are like, what is the Public Service Commission? What is the PSC? What exactly is it?
It's humbling that I've been on this thing for 15 years and nobody still knows what it is. Just anything on that right-of-way, whether it's gas lines, telephone lines, electric lines, we regulate that. We make sure that you've got what you need to be able to live a great life.
And you've been serving on this commission for how long?
15 years.
15 years. And this election, the early election, which starts...
Yeah, tomorrow, October 14th.
This is the first time in a while we've had a vote on this commission.
Yeah. I've got a 9-year term out of a 6-year term. You got to love that.
How does that happen?
Yeah. It just the lawsuit kept pushing it back and back and back, and the judge had these magic words at the end of the order: is that the current commissioners will remain in a holdover position.
Okay.
So praise God for that.
So what happened? So you are on the ballot, among others, I'm sure. The folks listening, you've served it. Obviously, I would imagine you're going to tout your experience on the commission.
Well, the power grid speaks for itself. We have an extremely reliable grid, 26% reserve margin. We want to keep it going. It's what's attracted so many businesses to Georgia and made us the best place to do business in America for 13 straight years.
What do you love about the job, and why do you want to keep doing it?
I love traveling around the state, meeting people, helping them solve problems, whether it's with their own house, their own bill, or just helping them maybe go to this next phase of technology. That's why we do the radio show Energy Matters, to help people see if the technology works for them. It may not. Some people are kind of set in their ways. Other people like to try new things.
What is the future of energy in the state of Georgia?
It's batteries right now. Batteries, these giant batteries in shipping containers placed at every substation just about in Georgia. It is the latest big thing that's going to have its way for the next 5 years.
When you say battery, explain exactly what you're talking about, because I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm talking stacks of lithium-ion batteries inside of a container, with special cooling, special fire protection, in order to make sure that the grid stays on. Because if the grid goes down even a millisecond, those batteries kick on and it doesn't go down. It protects the grid. It gives us the reliability that we need in Georgia.
A backup battery generator for the state of Georgia,
just like the tower outside has for this station. That if we lose power here, that generator's turning on in 20 seconds, but the batteries are going to keep us on for those first 20 seconds. The batteries are instantaneous.
How long have those been in use?
Yeah, we've been using Tesla batteries since 2016 in Georgia, but we haven't ramped them up to the degree that we are about to.
And before 2016, it was just a big hamster wheel?
It was a big hamster wheel with those things on the treadmill. Yeah. But we've finished a nuclear reactor. That's pretty incredible.
Sizable,
No other state's been able to do that.
For sure. Commissioner Tim Echols live in studio. Early voting for the PSC, Public Service Commission, begins tomorrow.
Thank you.
Tomorrow. Tim, always good to see you, my friend.
TimEchols.com. Thank you.
There you go. Good plug. And the Energy Matters, 343 episodes. Not a single one with Mark Arum. Not a single episode.
We've had Scott Slade quite a bit.
Oh, then you're good. Yeah, as long as you had Slade, you're good. Tim, good luck, my friend.
Thank you so much.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll get back to Egypt, the latest on the Gaza summit. and the future of the Mideast. Right now, though, we got to check the future of the roadways. Joining us live in Atlanta's only 24-hour traffic center. Hello and good morning, Alex Williams.
Hey, good morning, Mark. We are watching the jam over on the west side, 285 southbound, the outer loop. I think they've been doing that traffic pacing heading down toward I-20 exit 10, the West Freeway there for some of those blasting operations. So that's why you're slow back up to South Cobb Drive, but don't worry, that should only be temporary. Seeing some brake lights in Marietta, 75 southbound, leaving South Marietta Parkway, trying to get down to I-285. And also a few brake lights into Midtown and downtown, 75-85 southbound from 17th Street down to Cortlandt Street. Traffic brought to you by Staples. Have you heard the Staples Easy button is back with even more easy? Press it for custom prints, shipping service, even passport photos. Staples, that was easy. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
Get the WSB radio app.
This story is breaking right now.
Get notifications from your source for news.
If you have the WSB radio app, then you saw the breaking news. Get the WSB radio app.
Don't miss a thing with the WSB app.
Download it from the App Store today.
This is Scott Slade, and nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier, the better. That's where virtual imaging comes in. Virtual imaging's LDCT body scan can be invaluable, giving you more time for you and your loved ones to take charge of your health. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. Due to overwhelming demand for a limited time, their $995 core body scan offer has been extended. It's a $2,495 value. Early detection saves lives, and now it's more affordable than ever. Virtual Imaging has gotten such great response to this offer that they've opened up more times in both offices, but appointments will fill up fast, so don't wait. Some minimum requirements may apply. Early detection is your best protection. To schedule your virtual imaging $995 core body scan, call 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, every week on the show, we offer folks something we call the Portfolio X-Ray. I was hoping you could walk us through that process and tell us why the information it uncovers is so powerful.
Yeah, so the reason we love doing the Portfolio X-Ray for you is we do that behind the scenes. Everybody's extremely busy. Nobody wants to waste time in traffic. If you call in, we will ask you for some information via the phone. Once you've given us that information, we go to work and we put all the hours in developing the report. And I commit this to you. The Portfolio X-Ray is eye-opening. At least 90+% of the time, we can find 2 or 3 golden nuggets in there that you were not aware of that we can either change in your current portfolio mix for you. It's called a 401k optimizer. Or if we manage the assets for you, we certainly can recommend how to diversify away from some of the troubling points that are exposed during the Portfolio X-Ray. Once we've got that, then we'll have you in for your initial consultation. We will present the Portfolio X-Ray to you and walk you through the high points of it. And that's a document that you get to take with you. It's like getting a financial physical. Mm-hmm. So how many of you avoided going to the doctor for the annual physical last year? You do the same thing with your financial life. You ignore it. You keep pumping money into your 401k. You hope that it's going well, and I can tell you that hope is not a good investment or financial planning strategy. You need to know. So if you want to know, call us.
The Portfolio X-Ray is complimentary. Give Hoffman Financial Group a call to schedule yours today. 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Been wanting a new deck for your home, something that's built just the way you want it? But you're scared to pull the trigger? I can help you with that. Dave Baker here for Ben Hill Renovations. Right now, Ben Hill Renovations are offering special financing. No interest if you pay in full within the 18 months promo period. You're welcome. Visit bhrenovations.com today and schedule a free design consultation at your home. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
As summer winds down, there's never a better time than to upgrade your AC system. Hey, folks, it's Mark Aaron back from my pals at Reliable. Check out this amazing end-of-season savings. Get any size AC, just $69.99 a month. Get your free consultation by going to ReliableAir.com. Check this out. 0 down, low monthly payments, all future repairs, maintenance, even filters are no additional charge for life, and unbeatable lifetime warranty, 24/7 service, and next day installation, or they pay you $500. Plus, summer might be officially over, but we know in Atlanta it's never over until we get to like December. So get an amazing deal, end of season savings from my pals at Reliable. Any size AC, just $69.99 a month. Book an appointment for a convenient time right on their website at ReliableAir.com. Click on the Book Now button or call or text 770-594-9969.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Millions of Americans use credit cards to purchase goods every day. The Durbin-Marshall credit card mandates put the secure transactions you rely on at risk, leaving you vulnerable to hackers and foreign cybercriminals that want your data. Hackers win. You lose. Guard your card before it's too late. Tell Congress your data security is not for sale and oppose the Durbin-Marshall credit card mandates.
Paid for by Electronic Payments Coalition.
I'm not going to ask you to translate, Deborah. That was 15 years ago in San Jose, Chile. 33 miners emerged from an underground cave where they've been trapped for 69 days. That was 15. You remember that crazy story?
There was a movie on Netflix about it, too.
Oh, is there really?
Yeah, a couple years ago.
Speaking of Netflix, speaking of miners and Netflix, yes. I've been watching Poldark on Netflix.
It's okay.
It is. So it's from a show from 2015, I believe it started. And it follows this guy who was fighting for the British in the Revolutionary War. He returns home to England. To his father died and left him this mining estate. So it's all about copper mining in the United Kingdom. Interesting. It's good. I like it. It's a little old. It's 2015. It apparently just popped here. Okay. But anyway, that was anyone who's ever been a miner, like a miner,
coal miner.
Not an underage person, but a miner. Like I don't know how you do. First of all, I'm so claustrophobic. I could never do that job. But the risks involved, like coal miners, the coal lung. You remember Coal Miners?
Carcinogens, yeah.
Yeah, Coal Miner's Daughter, one of the greatest movies of all time. Anyway, that was 15 years ago. I have one funny story related to that. So apparently on NBC's Today Show, right after the coal miners were rescued, they had a bunch of them on NBC's Today Show or Good Morning America, whatever. And also booked at the same time was Howard Stern's producer, Gary Delabate, a.k.a. Baba Booey. And he went there, and the Chilean miners thought he was one of them. Because he looks like, a Chilean miner. So he's like, it's a funny story. He's like, they came up talking Spanish to him. And he's like, where were you in the mine? We didn't see you. Who are you? And he's like, I'm not a Chilean miner. Anyway, that was 15 years ago today. Crazy, crazy story. I mentioned this with Linda Gradstein, President Trump's speech in front of the Knesset on this historic day, the peace agreement between Israel, Hamas, and the hostage release. President Trump weighed in on some controversial territory during his remarks to the Israeli parliament. Stacey Lynn has more.
Speaking directly to Israeli President Herzog, Mr. Trump said,
Hey, I have an idea. Mr. President, why don't you give him a pardon?
He was referring to Prime Minister Netanyahu, who's been battling corruption charges for years.
This has been one of the greatest wartime presidents.
He was indicted in 2019 for bribery, fraud, and breach of trust. All charges he has adamantly denied and says are politically motivated.
Cigars and champagne, who the hell cares about that?
Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
Yeah, certainly. President Trump, and he even admitted, this is not part of my prepared remarks, asking the Israeli president to pardon the Israeli prime minister. And this is what we've been talking about for 2 years now. What is Prime Minister Netanyahu's political future once the war ends? Well, the war is ending. What does that mean for his political future? A story we'll talk about, but today's not the day. Today we celebrate the return of the hostages and the peace deal. Social media is up and active at Mark Arum. When we come back, more on this summit in Gaza. Deborah's got tickets to give away to see the band Heart, and we'll be joined by comedian Fortune Feimster. It's the Mark Arum Show, live on 95.5 WSB.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with low prices in every aisle. Kroger shoppers never compromise. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or Canada Dry. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Whether it's a slip that ends in a slip disc, a trick knee that's holding you back, or shoulder pain hurting your game, you can count on Northside Hospital Orthopedics. With leading care in Georgia at convenient locations all across the state, we're here to get you back on your feet, no matter what comes your way. Because Georgia moves us, and we keep Georgia moving. Find a provider near you at northside.com/ortho. That's northside.com/ORTHO.
No matter the season, Breda's got your back, protecting the outside and inside of your home. It's the bugs inside you want gone. Breda, they handle bugs and critters.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
That was thousands of miles being added to your private radio network. With Southern Link, connect your private LMR radio system to Critical Link, our mission-critical LTE network, so you can communicate more easily with more people when the situation demands. Call 1-800-818-LINC or visit southernlink.com to learn more about our interworking solutions, mission-critical push-to-talk, and LTE voice and data services. Southern Link, pushing the limits of what's possible.
This is Monica Pearson for Superior Plumbing. When you have plumbing problems, you need it done quickly and on your schedule. Superior Plumbing will work around your schedule night and day. They've served Atlanta for almost 40 years. They want to be your plumber for life, and they'll earn your trust by doing the work correctly the first time. So do what I did and call Superior Plumbing night or day to have a trusted plumber fix your plumbing issues.
Superior, the honest one. Call 770-422 Plum.
Motorcycle riders know that a distracted driver can knock you down. It's nice to know that Steel Horse Law can pick you back up. Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler for Steel Horse Law, the Stein and Karen Law Group. In the worst possible scenario, when someone causes you to lay your bike down, Steel Horse Law will get you the best possible settlement. Their name strikes fear in the heart of big insurance companies because Steel Horse Law is respected and will make them pay. Visit steelhorselaw.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News, weather,
Traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 11:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by Main Street Auto. President Trump is attending a Middle East peace summit in Egypt on what's being described as a pivotal day for the region.
CBS News special report. President Trump has just arrived in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, for the summit on Gaza's future. It comes after the exchange of Hamas hostages and Palestinian prisoners and his address to Israel's parliament. CBS's Robert Berger says it also comes with some doubt as to whether the peace plan will hold.
President Trump was talking about peace. I think Israelis are skeptical about peace. And then, of course, on the Palestinian side, you have over 65,000 people killed, the territory in Gaza totally destroyed. You're going to have animosity.
CBS's Nancy Cordes with what's left to be decided.
Under what conditions would Israel withdraw completely? Also, the president's 20-point plan calls for members of Hamas who want to stay in Gaza to hand over their weapons. Who do they hand their weapons over to, and when, and how?
CBS News special report. I'm Peter King.
All right, sunny skies today, warming up. Afternoon highs 81, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in about 2 minutes. Vernon Jones throwing his hat into the ring and the race for Secretary of State. The longtime Democrat switched to the Republican Party back in 2021. He released an official announcement this morning on X.
Hello, Georgia. I'm Vernon Jones. With faith in God, love for Georgia, and loyalty to the American First Movement, I'm running to be your Secretary of State.
Now, Jones served as CEO of DeKalb County from 2001 to 2009. He also had 2 separate stints in the Georgia State House of Representatives. He joined several other Republicans and one Democrat seeking to fill the seat of outgoing Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, who recently announced plans to run for governor of Georgia. The co-founder of Home Depot is behind funding designed to fuel student success at 4 prominent institutions. It's a story that's all new here at 11:30.
The Arthur M. Blank Family Foundation has invested $50 million in a 10-year scholarship program to support students at 4 of Atlanta's historically black colleges and universities. The funding will provide gap scholarships intended to increase the number of students graduating from Clark Atlanta, Morehouse College, Morris Brown College, and Spelman. And these gap scholarships will provide direct support to students who face those financial gaps that could prevent them from finishing. Lisa Nicholas, 95.5 WSB.
Well, this year's Columbus Day holiday coincides with a significant milestone for the U.S. Navy. It was on October 13, 1775, that the Continental Congress approved the creation of the nation's first naval force, making this the Navy's 250th birthday. Back then, the Continental Navy consisted of just 2 ships and had a crew of 80 men. Today, the U.S. Navy has more than 340,000 active duty sailors and about 71,000 reservists. Let's take a look at the market, see how your investments are working. It's a good day on Wall Street. The Dow up 624 at 46,103. So the Dow's up more than a full percent. NASDAQ is up almost 2%. And the S&P is also in positive territory, up more than 1.5%. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center with a look at your roads.
Hey, Sabrina, watching some volume through the heart of the city, 75-85 southbound, on and off that brake pedal from 17th Street down to North Avenue, exit 249. Northbound a little slow as well, University Avenue, clearing Freedom Parkway, and checking on a new slow zone into Cobb County, seeing the brake lights fill in I-20 westbound from Panola Road, exit 71 over to Wesley Chapel. We will see what's cooking there. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Mostly sunny this afternoon, warming up to a high of 81. Lows tonight in the mid-50s. Tomorrow, sunshine, high 83. Mostly sunny on Wednesday, morning low 58, afternoon high 54.
All right, in Roswell, you have 68 degrees. It is 69 in Monroe and Vinings. We'll have more news at noon, breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
When traffic
No
hits,
traffic getting through in either direction.
the Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
Even the bridge over 75 is being held.
Your source for Atlanta's traffic.
Out of Spaghetti Junction along 285 westbound and a crash on Peachtree Boulevard 141 southbound before 285.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Generations from now, this will be remembered as the moment that everything began to change, and change very much for the better.
Still to come, the latest on the historic peace deal and hostage release. Deborah's got tickets to give away, and comedian Fortune Feimster joins us live next on The Mark Arum Show.
Hey, it's Scott Slade for FGA Roofing. If your home's exterior could use an updated look, or maybe one of your neighbor's designer roofs has caught your eye, and your current roof has started to show its age, then now's the perfect time to check out FGA Roofing for the latest in architectural shingles, timberland shingles, and more. Slate, tile, wood shake, cedar roofs, FGA has them all. FGA Roofing offers 0% financing for 12 months with your good credit. Get the roof you want now and pay over time. Just search FGA Roofing to get started with a free quote today.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
I'm Brian Parks, head of commercial banking in Atlanta for Ameris Bank. I've been in banking for over 30 years, and my team and I know that businesses have the best results when they work with local bankers who know the Atlanta market. Bankers who will work to understand your business operations and bring good ideas to the table. At Ameris Bank, we do that. I invite you to reach out so we can start a conversation. Visit amerisbank.com/yourbusiness or a local branch near you. Ameris Bank, fiercely yours, Member FDIC.
October is here, and this is a perfect month for home comfort. Dave Baker for Coolray Heating and Cooling. See, in October, it'll still get plenty warm during the day, but it will get cool at night. So with the purchase of a complete Carrier system, Coolray's offering up to $2,250 back in rebates and free installation. That's heat, cool, and free installation. Get a jump start on keeping your home comfortable. Book your appointment online today at Coolray.com. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
He packed in the animals 2x2, ox, camel, and a
11:37 on this really busy news day Monday. Welcome back, friends. Mark Arum and crew with you till noon. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, we'll update the historic peace deal between Israel and Hamas. First, though, Deborah, we have some tickets to give away, my friend.
Yeah, tickets to see one of the greatest rock vocalists of all time, Ann Wilson, along with Heart at Gas South Arena on February 15th.
All right, it is the 13th day of the government shutdown, so we will do the 13th caller to 404-872-0750. 13th caller to 404-872-0750 wins a pair of tickets to see Heart, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show at 95.5 WSB. Welcome to Version on this really busy news day. Joining us live on the show, comedian, actress, producer, director, Fortune Feimster. Fortune, good morning. It has been so long since you've been on the show. Last time you were on the show, I was single, and you were working to hook me up with your friend Mindy Kaling. That's how long it's been since you've been on the show. I'm assuming it didn't work out with me and Mindy.
I mean, so far it sounds like it has not worked out. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. It's so good to have you back, and I'm excited you're coming to Atlanta Symphony Hall this Saturday. It's almost like I named the tour, Taking Care of Biscuits Tour.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because I'm from the South. I'm just a little further north from North Carolina, and I love me some biscuits.
Who doesn't love biscuits? Is that part of your rider when you go to Atlanta Symphony Hall in the green room, that you have biscuits and gravy or ham biscuits or?
It's not part of the rider, but I didn't realize that when I named my tour that local restaurants would deliver biscuits to my green room. So every city I am being inundated with biscuits, which, listen, I'm not complaining about, but I do think that at some point I might have to change the title to Taking Care of Salads because this can't be good for me.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot. You're a traveling comedian. You're on the road all the time. It's a grind, I know. And I know you'd prefer to go to a Greasy Spoon, locally owned biscuit place. But if push comes to shove and you have to have a fast food biscuit, where, Fortune, are you going for the fast food biscuit?
Oh, man. Well, I talked about my love of Hardee's biscuits in my last special.
Yeah, I remember.
So Hardee's is a big one, but, being from the South, Bojangles is high up there for me as well.
It's bow time.
But, Atlanta has some amazing biscuit places. I went to Homegrown, and they had a really great biscuit, and the Flying Biscuit.
Yeah.
And there's some other places that people recommended I go to when I come this weekend. So I have a long list.
I will say this. I am a Connecticut-born Yankee, but I'm an adopted Southerner. So you take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt. The biscuits at Flying Biscuit are fantastic, but the must-order item there are the grits. They're the greatest grits I've ever had in my life.
Oh, yeah, you don't get those in Connecticut. So.
You do not get those in Connecticut. Fortune Feimster joining us live on the Mark Arum Tuesday in Atlanta Symphony Hall this Saturday. Please go see her. She is hilarious. You are just absolutely, literally crushing it on Netflix. That was the name of your latest special, which premiered in December. When you are at home watching Netflix, do you just put your special on and then leave the room to get the ratings going up? How does that work?
I mean, listen, anytime a special comes out, I definitely let the whole thing play through. But it is a trip, just like with Netflix in general. I didn't realize the other day I was trying to find something, and I put my name in there, and I didn't realize I'm in like 20 things on Netflix. So I was like, oh man, Netflix has kind of become my home.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, they're fantastic to comedians for sure. Now, I don't want to get in your finances, but do you get, like, every time I watch your special, do you get paid for that, or is it kind of a flat fee with Netflix?
It's a flat fee with the specials. They're like residuals and stuff when you have do acting gigs and stuff like that. But with the special, yeah, it's just a flat thing. But the thing with the every special is you tour it for, I do a year and a half each tour. Each tour is like 100 cities, 150 shows.
Wow.
So that's where a stand-up sort of makes their income. And then at the end of that run, you tape it, put it on, some sort of platform, and that lives there for, hopefully a long time, and people can see it who didn't get a chance to see the live version. But I always say there's nothing that compares to seeing a comedian live. It's just such a fun energy, especially at the shows that I do. I pride myself on having a really good energy in the room. The people that come are just lovely and having the best time. So it's a really fun night.
And Atlanta Symphony Hall is a fantastic venue too, especially not just to see the symphony, but to laugh your biscuits off. Folks listening might recognize your voice. You star in Netflix's, again, back to Netflix, FUBAR with Arnold Schwarzenegger. You work with Arnold.
That's right. Yeah, I did 2 seasons with him. I got to dip my toe into the action world. So that was really, really cool. And he's just so fun to work with and such a motivational guy. And I got to, get to know him and do fun things like go to Oktoberfest in Munich with him. And now I'm filming a TV show with Will Ferrell. So it's good company lately.
All right. So tell me the truth. Arnold and Will Ferrell, tell me they're as nice off camera as they are on camera.
Incredibly nice. Very, very approachable guys. Just different. They're just different. Like, Arnold still carries himself very much like a governor who, he's very philanthropic and always doing some big global thing. And Will is such a global superstar comedian, and he's just as silly and fun and nice as you would hope he would be. So it's been fun working with Will because all of our scenes are together and we film often together. So we've become friends, and we have similar vibes and similar energy. So it's just been a lovely experience.
I won't ask you to set me up with Will Ferrell like I did with Mindy Kaling all those years ago. Final question. Was Arnold judgy about your biscuit consumption? Did he try to, put nutritional values in your head or anything like that?
Honestly, that's one of the things I really did admire about him that I didn't expect. I thought because he was such a fitness guy and such a body guy that there would be some sort of comment at some point or joke about my eating habits. He did not judge me one time about food or weight or anything. He's a big proponent of just do anything. Do anything that helps you feel better, move your body. There's no judgment there.
Great.
So I really appreciated that.
That's good
to hear. Obviously that's something everybody kind of struggles with, and he gets that it's not easy.
Fortune, the tour is called Taking Care of Biscuits this Saturday, Atlanta Symphony Hall. Biscuit shop owners, do not send biscuits to her green room, please. Fortune, it's so great to have you back on the show. Can't wait to see you on Saturday, my friend.
I'm excited. I love Atlanta, so I'm pumped to get back there.
Yeah, fantastic. And such great success, too. So proud. Fortune Feimster at Atlanta Symphony Hall. Amazing. FUBAR. You are cordially invited, by the way. That is the Will Ferrell show she was talking about. That is on Amazon Prime. Always good to see her and talk to her. Congrats to Greg in Peachtree City. He won a pair of tickets to see Hot, the legendary band at, where's that's at?
Gas South Arena.
Gas South Arena, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show at 95.5 WSB. When we come back, the latest on the historic peace deal between Israel and Hamas. Right now, though, at 11:46, we got to check the ride around town. Live with the latest in Alex Williams.
Hey, Mark, checking on this slow zone out in DeKalb County, 20 westbound, stacking up from the mall at Stonecrest, passing Panola Road, exit 71. We're trying to see if we got any lanes blocked out there. If you're traveling 285 westbound, the inner loop by the airport, there's a Hero with a stall in the right lane on that long 285 west ramp that takes you to I-75 there in Clayton County. Right lane being held there. And on the south side, on and off the brakes through Stockbridge, 75 southbound from Highway 138, exit exit 228 down to Hudson Bridge Road. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates, personal injury law firm. John Foy & Associates will help you get the care and compensation you deserve after an accident. When you need help, they're there. You're never a number. Get the strong arm and call John Foy & Associates today. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
Join us tomorrow for Atlanta's Morning News, 5 to 9 a.m. for live team coverage on our top stories, the scorecard of the president's trip to the Middle East, and Clark Howard's advice on getting the most out of open enrollment when you wake up with 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta DIY landlords, listen up. If you're exhausted from managing your rental properties all by yourself, my friends at Renters Warehouse Atlanta offering a 90-day test drive. Hire Renters Warehouse to manage your rental property for a low flat monthly fee as low as $115. If you're not satisfied at any time in the first 3 months, you can fire them. Get your management fees back. What do you get for that low flat monthly fee? A dedicated property management team, maintenance coordination, move in and move out property condition reports, advanced tenant screening with a 9-month tenant warranty, professional photography and videography, lease renewal processing and negotiations, online rent collection, monthly owner cash flow statements, and more. Renters Warehouse, so confident you'll love their service, they want an addition for your business. Choice is yours. Keep DIYing or see how Renters Warehouse can make your life easier. Start your 90-day test drive today. Go to rwatlanta.com or call 404-662-2322, 404-662-2322.
If you have Medicaid and are new to Medicare, you may qualify to enroll in a Humana Medicare Advantage dual-eligible special needs plan with a lot more benefits, like dental, vision, and hearing, along with helpful support when you need it most. Now is the time to see if you qualify to enroll. It only takes a few minutes to find out if you're eligible. Our licensed sales agents are ready to help you understand your options. So this Medicare planning season, we can help you plan well. Learn more at humanaduals.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a dual-eligible special needs HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the state Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Scott Slade here to talk to you about your health, and I think it's real important to talk about what is most likely to kill you. Heart disease is the #1 killer of Americans, and the older we get, the more prevalent it is. But you can reduce your risk. Eat right, don't smoke, exercise, and be informed about what's going on in your own body. Like lots of potentially serious health problems, if you catch heart disease early, you vastly increase your chances of living a longer life. And that's where virtual imaging comes in. Virtual imaging scans take less than 10 minutes and screen with 98% accuracy for heart disease. Other scans, including brain and full body, are available too. Virtual imaging is locally owned and operated in Atlanta for over 15 years, so they can make you this terrific offer. A complimentary heart scan for you and your spouse with a few minimum requirements. So don't put this off. I've done it. Call Virtual Imaging today for your free heart scan. 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-7226. Or visit their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with low prices in every aisle. Kroger shoppers never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Right now, USDA Choice Boneless Chuck Roasts are on sale. Just $7.99 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Been wanting a new deck for your home? Something that's built just the way you want it? But you're scared to pull the trigger? I can help you with that. Dave Baker here for Ben Hill Renovations. Right now, Ben Hill Renovations are offering special financing. No interest if you pay in full within the 18 months promo period. You're welcome. Visit bhrenovations.com today and schedule a free design consultation at your home. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why the big wireless companies want you on an unlimited plan? It's because they need you to help cover the cost of the 20-somethings who are using a lot of data every month. Fact is, according to the latest research studies, most people 50 and up, like me, only use 12 gigs or less each month. Don't get bamboozled by big wireless. At Consumer Cellular, pick what suits your needs. Whether it's 1 gig, 5, 10, or unlimited, the point is, pay for exactly what you need and nothing more. We use the same towers as the big guys, but since we don't own and maintain them, we can pass the savings on to you. Our plans start at just $20 a month, and you'll get the best customer service in the business. I want to invite you to join the millions of people who choose something better than big wireless. Because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
My name is Borat. I'm journalist for Kazakhstan. My government sent me to USA to make a movie film. Please, you look.
I might have laughed harder at Borat than any other film in theater. Happy 54th birthday to actor Sacha Baron Cohen, who played Borat, the fictional journalist from Kazakhstan visiting America. I think he split with Amy Adams. Is that
Isla Fisher?
Yeah, I always get those two confused.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. Anyway, that's sad that they split. Yes, Eric Erickson's going to come along after the news at noon and continue our coverage of the historic peace deal and a hostage release. Let's update that. Israel now releasing busloads of Palestinian prisoners after Hamas freed the remaining 20 living hostages from Gaza. President Trump addressing the Israeli Knesset today, saying it was just not the end of the war, but a historic dawn of a new Middle East. Trump now set to meet with world leaders for a peace summit in Egypt. ABC News foreign correspondent Marcus Moore has more on the humanitarian aid now at the Rafah border crossing.
Before this peace deal, there were hundreds of trucks, aid trucks with items from the World Food Program, from the UN and other groups that were just parked there, waiting to get in. As this humanitarian crisis unfolded in Gaza, now with this first phase, this agreement, it calls for all of those trucks to go in. As many as 600 trucks a day.
Aid going in, and what happens next, the rebuilding of Gaza, that is something that President Trump is meeting with world leaders at right now in Egypt on what Gaza's future looks like. But 2+ years after that horrific terrorist attack by Hamas on Israel, we have a peace deal. All of the hostages have been released. Really fantastic news. And as I mentioned to correspondent John Decker at the top of the show and Eric Erickson, right now, this is the signature achievement of the Trump presidencies. There's no question about it. Hopefully, the peace will last and things will get to some sense of normalization in Gaza. But obviously, a huge story. Speaking of which, Speaker Mike Johnson was asked about this. Where, of course, I can't find the audio. Yeah, here we go. Speaker Mike Johnson asked about the peace deal and the hostage release this morning. Mike Johnson from Louisiana.
What we marked today, and the reason there was such rousing applause at the Knesset and is being celebrated, as you know, throughout the Middle East, the region, and around the world, is because this is, for the first time in 738 days, there are no living Israeli hostages buried in the tunnels and being held at the hands of Hamas.
Yeah, pretty amazing there. There's Speaker Mike Johnson. Updates throughout the day on what's going on at the summit and this historic peace deal. Bird lovers, egg lovers, proceed with caution. Apparently, Deborah, there's been a big spike in the bird flu, which could impact our egg production.
Yeah, get ready for egg prices to go up once again. I mean, they came down, but not a huge amount, but they were down. But we're seeing another spike in bird flu. That means farmers might have to destroy some of their flocks, which, of course, is going to be less production, and that cost get passed on to us.
Have egg prices been dropping, do you know?
I mean, they've come down a little bit, but
yeah.
not enough where, like, it used to be 99 cents for me to get 6 eggs. It hasn't ever gone back down to that.
The good old days. Used to get a hamburger for a nickel. Eggs for 99 cents. Wiener Schnitzel for $1.50.
Longoria's fact of the day.
For free. You get that for free every day. Today is National Yorkshire Pudding Day, and it's not pudding at all. It was originally a starter dish made from meat drippings to fill people up before the main course, and the first recipe was recorded in 1737 as dripping pudding.
Now, I knew Yorkshire pudding wasn't a sweet treat, but I still don't know what it is.
It's kind of like it's kind of like a muffin or a biscuit. It's
Oh,
in between that, where
yeah.
it's a bread item, and some people put like gravy and things in
I've
it.
seen that.
Yeah, it's our version of a biscuit where we'd use to kind of like get the gravy and all that stuff. That's the scoop of that.
The English language differences between us and England are severe. So
Pudding.
Pudding, first of all. Like every dessert
usually
is
means
called
dessert,
a pudding.
yeah.
Yeah.
I learned that through Downton Abbey.
I learned that from Pink Floyd.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Well, that never made sense to me as a kid. I'm like, why is pudding so popular, Pink Floyd? Like, pudding's okay,
That's
but
what I thought. I'm like, who cares if I
yeah,
don't
it's
get
just
pudding? Yeah.
What do you want? Tapioca pudding? That's no incentive to finish my meat. So that's a difference. Every dessert's considered a pudding. What's the other? What were we just talking about? Oh, a biscuit.
Oh, yeah, that's a cookie.
A cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all. So what is it? It's today? I don't even know if they
Yorkshire Pudding Day.
Yeah. I don't-
Yorkshire.
Yorkshire. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not from there, so who cares?
Yorkshire. I mean, I wouldn't even order to get one.
Well, there's plenty of British restaurants and things around here that'll serve
Fido
them.
might have them.
No, they're Irish, but maybe.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Julia Childs, I'm sure, has a Yorkshire pudding recipe. The joy of cooking.
And now, are you guys ready for the Mark Aram star of the show?
We were all over the peace deal today. Some amazing correspondence. John Decker joined us live from the White House. Jordana Miller from ABC joined us live in Jerusalem. Linda Gradstein from CBS joined us live in Israel. We got Eric Erickson's reaction to that peace deal. He'll continue our team coverage right after the news at noon. Fortune Feimster, hilarious. Love her. Did I ever tell you when I asked her to hook me up with Mindy Kaling? Do you remember that story? I was single. Mindy was single. Not the case anymore, but Fortune Feimster, always good to talk to her. All right, tomorrow on the show, big stuff. We'll continue our coverage of the peace deal, and we'll monitor the government shutdown. Social media is up and active throughout the day at Mark Aram and at WSB Radio. Stay safe. Have a great Monday, Atlanta.